It's really just Big Liam solo dolo on this island, baby boy.
I'm gonna get that on a shirt. I swear to God, I will. I swear to Christ, I'll get that on a shirt.
Oh my God, I'm clipping it.
What did he say just now? We're not just gonna let that.
Him or me?
What did you say?
No.
He looked at me with his judge face. He went, "What'd you say?" Like, bro, he looked at me like, "Come on, Ali, we're gonna get him." Like, bro, he was so ready to turn it on me, bro.
How dare you insult my friend? I got this, Liam. Don't worry about it. Making Liam uncomfortable, you douche.
What the hell is wrong with you, dude? You unlucky so and so. You've come across me and my friend.
What?
She's gonna be the little, the wedge that like snaps Wanda out of it, and then Wanda's gonna be like, "Bitch, what? Purple?" And then fucking red her shit. Like it's gonna be lit, bro. It's gonna be awesome.
But
Red jelly, strawberry jam.
Exactly.
But Evan Peters, his dad is Magneto. Mutants exist, Chris.
Okay, listen.
She can't create mutants.
You're being silly.
Her dad? How'd she create her dad?
You're being silly, bro. You're being silly. Well, Hermes, we're starting no cold open, no music, no nothing.
Oh, my bad. Michael asked me. Bam, ba-dum, bam.
Man, you don't got no business being that fucking funny.
Ba-na-na-na-na-na-na-na.
I like that intro. That should be that should be what Hermes says next.
Yeah, dude. Hermes is live. Later on.
I like that there's literally no difference between you and Hermes.
No, there's
Hermes
not.
is you, the hand.
Yeah. That's the character. Yeah, and it's weird. I do a lot of voices. Like, it's one of the things I do.
Mhm.
And as soon as I'm, like, brought the option to do a character, I don't pull
You
one.
just do your voice.
I just speak through my hand.
I need cold water. This coffee's hot.
I understand.
Uncap this.
Oh, man. I was just thinking, Liam, what episode is this?
Oh, shit.
It's episode 20 of the episode 3 podcast.
Oh, shit.
It's been at least 2.5 light years since we've been on.
It's been,
It's been a measure of distance.
yeah, I was gonna. It's been a while. It's been so long that time is relative, and we are now an amount of space away from the last podcast.
We have physical distance. from
That's
the
how
last
time
one.
works, man.
Yeah, Chris.
You fucking dumbass.
Fucking take a class.
You didn't watch Loki?
Dork.
I did.
Wow. Well,
What?
speaking of fucking Loki,
Wait a
Bro,
second.
warm open, motherfucker.
guys, we have so much to discuss
So
about
much.
pop culture.
Such
Yeah,
an
we
extensive amount.
We have a huge amount of stuff to amount to.
What is the first thing you would like to discuss just about Loki? Because
The character?
No, the fucking. I will throw you. I'll throw you.
I've,
The only one here I can pick up and throw anymore.
but he
Good
can
luck.
Aline
fuck you
used
up
to be
too.
skinny enough for me to like pick him up like a javelin and like spear him, but now he's like big and strong and scary, and now you're like a little shot put that I can just fucking fling. I'm scared.
They called me that. The shot put. That's my name. How'd you know?
Let's see what to talk about. Well, one, Go Fuck Yourself has a much newer context.
Yes, it
Yes,
does.
it does. It does quite a lot.
Let's start there.
There was a moment where I thought this was going to be the first MCU property, like outside of like a Deadpool crossing over, that was going to have like a fuck in it.
Oh,
like,
really?
like the
Yeah,
word.
yeah,
Like
could-
I kind of felt like she
could've
was
seen
gonna
one.
have her like what Rick was supposed to do in Walking Dead when he's like, they don't know who they're fucking with, but he says screwing with because like AMC had didn't have any fucks left. Like I thought there was gonna be like a moment.
Literally not a fuck left to give.
Exactly. Like at the end of episode 2 when she goes, this isn't about you. I thought there, like a moment like that where she's like, fuck you or something would happen at some point, or someone would.
Yeah, for sure.
All of my expectations were completely subverted every episode.
So, yes, literally every single. Never had an idea of what was gonna happen.
Literally every theory was dashed within like 5 minutes of the next episode.
The
Like,
only thing that I ever saw coming, even a little bit, was that like either she was gonna end up being the game-changing thing, herself, like that she would push Loki out, or that a Loki would be the fucking what Kang ended up being.
Yeah, I definitely expected there to be a Loki when they opened that door.
Thought he was going to backstab everybody.
Me too.
Kang or Loki?
No, Loki.
Like our Loki?
Long-term backstab.
There was a moment where I thought
Me
that,
too.
but that fight at the end,
See, that's what really fucks it up. That's what they did so good because they finally
they make you second guess every good
No,
every
yeah,
good
yeah,
character.
literally, like when he was talking to Mobius, I didn't know if he was really his friend or not. And then when you realize he's really his friend because he was Mobius and his girlfriend self thing, we're talking about him a lot. But what's really fucked up and super tragic about Loki is they have a really good way of like fucking Loki. Like they kind of give you not a reason to root for him, but a reason to understand his misery because like he finally, we saw in Infinity War, he finally joined up with the good guys, finally like squared everything away with his brother and got his neck snapped. And then in this, he finally makes a friend. Friend doesn't remember him. Finally like finds the like love, like finally was able to find love within himself, ironically enough, and got backstabbed like by himself. Like Loki is so fucked up that he can't trust himself, and when he did trust himself, he fucked himself over. And I think
And fell in love with himself.
yes, and I just think that's like horribly tragic. And I think that was like every show has done so good to like write to the characters. Like WandaVision showed you like her crumbling psyche. Falcon and the Winter Soldier showed you like it had a lot of social issues that were properly presented. You know what I'm saying? It showed you like the perspective of a black superhero really well. And then Loki just shows you like his ultimate never-ending misery. And it's like even when he does everything he can for the greater good, like he's still
Showing
gets
the
fucked.
ultimate example in Old Man Loki. Like lived his entire life in seclusion, and the second he stepped off,
And how fucking awesome was he?
Amazing.
so cool.
He was
Amazing.
Fucking amazing.
incredible.
That actor's incredible.
He is. Yes, he's amazing.
What's his name? I know his name. I'm just right now.
Richard something.
Anyway, that
yeah.
guy's just fucking. He's been amazing for like 50 years though.
Two things. One's cool. One's like just introspective. Falcon and Winter Soldier was fucking awesome,
Amazing.
but it is totally going to go down as overshadowed by both of these other shows coming out so quickly
Yeah,
together.
for sure.
Because like
They're also these other two shows are a lot more MCU altering than Falcon.
altering and like
Did you hear
when
about
you
what's
watch
going
a
on with Hawkeye?
superhero show, what with Fisk? We'll get on that. Hold on. We'll get on with that. So much. We have so much.
Okay.
Hold on. So
Wait. And Gunner.
What?
Say something.
About what?
I'm gonna just
you know
keep on
Gunner. He just
talking.
he
Nah,
just
nah,
he
I don't got
interjects
time.
with
Nah, it's
magical
it's
information.
a podcast now. Say something.
Something.
Nah, I
He
get
did it, man.
Go ahead.
Okay.
The only thing I saw, like, and I say saw coming.
How did my Gunner button activate Michael?
Exactly.
I was like, I had a thing still. I had something cocked and loaded.
Yeah,
I
but
was
you see,
trying to
I
say
saw past
Loaded
it.
with cock,
cock, yeah,
which is okay.
cock loaded.
Yeah, of course it is.
You know, caulk, like what you spray around windows to keep them
Penis.
sealed. Oh, different word.
The only thing I ever
Wait
saw
a
coming in the whole
second.
series.
God
Okay,
damn.
go ahead, please.
No, it's okay.
No, don't say please like he's in the fucking. No.
Go ahead.
Run
Go ahead.
that back, Logan. A little attitude.
Remind me. 28 minutes.
28.
Go.
So the only thing I ever saw coming, it wasn't episode to episode, it was within the episode, is when they first introduced the timekeepers.
Oh, you knew they were gonna be bullshit.
As soon as I saw them, I said, "This is too accurate. This is too accurate to what the like."
When you
comic
saw them, like,
character
where
is.
they didn't say anything for like a second, or
They-
when they like walked in and saw them
As
all.
soon as you look at them, I said,
Yeah.
"This is not real.
Yeah.
These are not the
Yep.
timekeepers."
Yep.
Yeah, I felt that. And they did really good with that because it's like it's.
I take back what
real.
I said. I'm with him. I super felt that as soon as because you see him twice. You see him that first time when what's
You
her
get
name?
their silhouettes.
Yeah, and when she walks out and you see their eyes, I was like, that's bullshit. That's bullshit.
That's fair.
And she's acting, and then
It
she talked to
literally-
Mobius, and she was like weird as fuck. I was like, nah, this is
'Cause
some.
even she
There's
knew
some
they were
silly
bullshit.
shit going.
Literally
yeah.
a Wizard of Oz, like man behind the curtain moment. Like
Yeah. Like when they walked in, and the thing is, they did so good because the way they set the scene, I don't know. Maybe I'm just being like a little too pseudo critical, but it feels like exactly what it is. Like it feels like this is almost real. Like this is really dramatic and dark, and this is what it would look like if it was real. But you instantly feel how fake
This
it
is what it should feel like when the Avengers walk in on them. Like this is like a fucking third act or like 9th out of 10 act like giant MCU franchise moment of like mega power villains,
Yeah.
and we're seeing
And we
them
still
on
have-
episode fucking like
yeah,
4
we have
of
3
Loki.
more episodes.
Yeah, like what is
Exactly.
that? This is some bullshit.
But
This
they
is some
did-
baby
they
back
just-
bullshit.
They
Is
just
what that
did
shit
so
was.
good with that set. Like that room, like looks like fake real. Like it looks
Exactly.
like I'm trying to pull the wool over your eyes, and this
I'm
is what it
trying to
looks like.
intimidate you with like
Yeah,
fear
with, like,
tactics.
bullshit. Like I want everything about this room is gonna convince you that the lie is the truth,
Mhm.
and I felt that because as soon as they walked in, I feel like just about everybody who was paying attention was like, "This is bullshit."
What was her name? Like Agent B-17 or something. What was her name?
Which one?
The
black
first one that went
the-
crazy.
yeah,
Everybody was black.
the first.
Yeah,
one.
low key.
The,
The one that
Low-key.
went crazy.
I
Yeah.
said Loki.
the one
I
that
didn't
Sylvie
mean
like.
to.
The one that Sylvie
It was
like.
funny. It was funny. Anyway.
The one that Sylvie brought in and like got her on her team. What was her name? Do you remember?
Oh, that one's
Excuse me.
B-15.
B-15. So she, in my opinion, was the most underrated actress in the show.
I think so too.
She was
She
like-
did fantastic.
Nobody
Cool
has
arc.
been talking enough about how fucking great that woman was.
And the one that had her mind all fucked up by Sylvie. She did great
She was
in her little
Yeah,
moments.
yeah, definitely.
Really, the whole show is cast
That
phenomenally.
that enchantment scene threw me for a fucking loop. Like,
Oh
when-
my god.
Like when they opened it up, my brain was like, okay, how does Sophie know her? Like I started putting so much weird shit.
Oh,
together.
really?
Yeah, it threw me for
I-
a fucking. I didn't know she was being charmed. As soon as it opened up, I was like,
Is this like a flashback?
yeah, I was like, how? What is happening?
For me,
As soon as she asked the
think what
first
my-
creepy question, I was like, all right,
Yeah.
she's probably in her head.
yeah,
or something.
immediately. Yeah, that's when I was like super into it. I think for me it was a little easier because I watched those 2 episodes back to back, like
Yeah.
right back to back, like
Yeah,
super.
yeah, yeah,
Like so I didn't like forget for a second who that other chick was.
yeah.
Because she does look a little different. Like, because she's like, partying and hanging out and having
Yeah.
fun. And so I was like, I could see how a lot of people probably be like, wait, who's this chick again? And be like, oh, it's the one she
Yeah,
got. But
no,
I
they-
just saw it and I was like,
Yeah, they
Sylvie.
did really good with that. Cause like what I like about that scene is the same thing I like about the movie Inception. How like Inception drives home, the dreams never start. You're just in them.
Mhm.
And you're just
Mhm.
in the middle, and that's very much how that scene is. It's just like happening, and you're
Mhm.
like, oh shit, what the fuck is going on?
We're
we're talking about Loki, but weird side point. Some movies do little tiny lines like that so well. Because, like, when they say in Inception, a dream never really starts, you're just in it. That's like, I bet that's something that so few times was actually said out loud.
Yeah,
And
but
then
it's just the
everyone
truth.
collectively was like, whoa.
You know what I remember most from Inception?
What?
Is, don't think about elephants. What are you thinking about?
Yeah, exactly. That's such it's such a good scene. Anyway, sorry. 28 minutes and 7 seconds.
28 minutes, 7 seconds.
28 minutes and 7 seconds into the last episode of Loki is the moment where you hear the boom and Kang goes, you know how I said I knew everything? And then do you know what the significance of 28
No.
minutes and 7 seconds is?
Is it 2807?
No, it's not. It's not about the number.
28
Tell me.
Divided by 7.
28 minutes and 7 seconds is exactly the amount of time it took in the finale of WandaVision for her to become the Scarlet Witch.
So you think her becoming the Scarlet Witch?
Her
has-
becoming the Scarlet
You
Witch,
think they're linked like time-wise?
Oh,
apparently.
Well, they're at the literal end of time. Like it could exist.
Yes,
it exists
but
in all
something
moments.
has to be happening in that moment for him. Time is happening all the time, but there's always one thing that changes time. Like he says, if you kill him, thousands of other of him come out. But if you don't, time keeps happening in this loop. So things can change time, obviously. Regardless of what's happening to them, other things can be affecting it. They're not the one and only thing affecting time because all those branches have to happen. So, Scarlet Witch is a super specific thing that happens. Agatha even says, like, the Sorcerer Supreme is like, you overshadow him now, power-wise. Like, and these shows are happening at the same time. Like things are happening. Like things are definitely all collectively happening in the MCU at once for this to all play out. It's not just Loki pulling all the strings.
Yeah, she's like the equivalent of like Marvel's the Phoenix Force. She's a cosmic like Omega level entity.
Yeah. So, what's something's dude? That's look. Coincidence or not?
So you think when he goes like, this is no longer the point that I know is going to happen, you think that's her?
I think
becoming
it's
Scarlet
tied
Witch?
to it somehow. Or people
That's
do.
a-
I say
that's-
I do.
It's an incredibly interesting idea.
If it's a coincidence, fuck you, Marvel. Don't do that.
No,
You have to.
it would be like the weirdest coincidence.
It's crazy if it's a coincidence, but like, otherwise, what is that moment? How does he? What? They're not. They're just gonna fucking. Are they gonna explain away that moment and it being significant? That has to be connected because he goes, huh? Wow, yeah, weird. Like what a nothing explanation. Weird, yeah, I don't know anymore. Why not? Why don't you know anymore? You're Kang. You're this fucking million-year-old person. How do you not know anymore?
Alioth. Alioth rubbed me a little bit the wrong way. I thought they could have done more with the character of Alioth.
I think they are going to.
You think so?
Yeah, Eliath's like because
literally
again,
like they introduce him as a gigantic cloud monster, and then they just say, "Oh yeah, Alioth. Yeah, I just tamed him."
well, we're seeing that character and Eliath at the end.
Yeah.
We're gonna see that character many more times in different variants, and probably Eliath.
And
something to do with both of them.
never guessed that Marvel had the goddamn balls to make Kang the next fucking villain.
Jonathan Majors.
That guy's amazing.
He's amazing. I knew he was gonna be amazing for a while because
the
of
guy who played Kang.
because of George. George likes the show Lovecraft Country.
Talking about Jorge?
County.
Yeah, Jorge.
Okay.
I haven't watched.
Or probably his country.
It's country.
Yeah.
I thought it was county too.
It's fucking
Bro, it looks weird, right?
Yeah.
Like it makes you think county, because county sounds better. Country's stupid.
Wait, what are you talking about? What?
There's a
It's like
show
it's a
called
horror-
Lovecraft Country,
It's on HBO.
I
I
think.
think so. It's like a horror.
It's like
show.
Cthulhu and shit.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like Cthulhu and
Oh, yeah, based on,
aliens
like,
and
lo-
baseball
Yeah, it's
stars.
Lovecraftian creatures.
Yeah, like there's a scene where like
H.P. Lovecraft.
there's a scene where like who's the black baseball player that like revolutionized?
Robinson?
Jackie
Jackie
Robinson falls down, kills an alien spaceship with a baseball bat, and then saves like superhero poses in front of a like army of aliens, like some crazy shit. Like it's some ridiculousness like that.
No,
But it's like super great, and Jonathan Majors is one of the main characters, and
Yeah.
like that's apparently where the casters of MCU were like, we need this guy to be Kang, and so like Emergency Awesome, the YouTuber, he was saying
well, we haven't seen
Jonathan
Kang
Majors is amazing. Well, that character
yet.
is
As the
still
Undying one.
he's still technically the character, like the entity of Kang. It's just that one decided to be better than
He's not the
most.
conqueror.
yeah. He's not like mean like shitty Kang. And we're gonna get a bunch of different versions. That's what I'm excited
It's
about.
gonna be the same guy though.
Yeah, he's playing
Yeah.
all of them,
Yeah.
and he did such a good job. With
Well, he's
this one.
fucking brilliant. He was
He's
one,
so good.
it was one of the most interesting, like juxtaposed, like what the fuck am I looking at acting moments in all of Marvel. It's just like
Yeah, I was thrown
that
for a loop.
guy 100%. It was one of my favorite acting moments in the last like 4 years, like because that guy just owned every moment of that screen.
He said,
Every second, he just danced all over my fucking interest and like giddiness.
I was watching an interview with him and Tom Hiddleston, not together, but like like they were interviewing both separately about the episode and
Yeah.
those characters, and Tom was just like, yeah, John's he's the champ, he's fucking amazing, and Jonathan Majors is one of those guys that like I really wish we could sit down and talk to, because he is incredibly well spoken, very like you can tell he's like a very collected person, like day to day, like he just seems like he's all there, and like to hear that, but like juxtaposed with what we get on screen in
The
that
sh-
one
the
episode, he's like a Willy Wonka.
Dude, the
Fucking-
weight of everything he's saying with this airy, like, I could give a fuck attitude, but
Like fuck Thanos.
still,
Thanos
like-
is nothing.
but still incredibly subtly, like, but still, like, incredibly, like, subtle. Like, like, there's something behind his eyes, like, he seems like he's got it all together, but there could be a thing. Like, there's something that he's not telling us yet.
Yeah.
And he does that so fucking effortlessly. It was gorgeous. It was just an amazing piece of fucking film.
I like that he's kind of. I feel like a lot of people are thinking that he only had like a couple options. I think his line, him just saying he's tired and that it's over, I think he really just didn't care. I think he was goading Sylvie to kill him because there's like he would rather just die.
Oh my god, dude! His somber, his like somber, just
See,
like
s-
acceptance of how long he's been alive.
Yeah.
Just like
I'm tired. I love how much of a nerd he sounded like too. Like he gave himself because he is not. That is not his voice. Dude, he changed his voice.
How nerdy would you be if you could like collapse realities into each other?
Yeah,
It's a good point.
He was literally a scientist. Like,
Yeah.
he became as powerful as he is because
I think-
of
I
his
think,
Well, his
understanding of
character
science.
Nathaniel Richards is like what he is before he's Kang. He's Reed Richards' like
Yeah.
great descendant, like
Oh, shit.
Mr. Fantastic. Yeah,
I cannot wait.
for the Fantastic Four.
Oh my gosh.
Hand me that, Michael.
Oh.
Yeah, it's supposed to be. They sent 2 by accident. Oh, okay, then cool. Talk about it after the stream. Okay. They sent me the same one twice.
Get right on their ass.
Yeah.
Stupid asses.
Anyway,
Stimulated.
What were your thoughts on the final episode? What were like? Because you watched it after the rest of us, and we were all like, "Get ready for this." Like, what were? Because I've purposely a little bit tried to avoid going into great detail about. 'Cause I want to hear like fresh your thoughts on it.
All right, look, I'm gonna tell you straight like this.
he hated it. It was
No,
bad.
no. Jonathan Majors, booty ass.
Yeah.
That motherfucker, I could read everything he was saying. Nah, I really like a lot of things about the last episode. Like I said, I already went on my tirade on like the tragedy of Loki, because Loki is turning out to be the MCU's like just repetitive tragedy, just like over and over
Which
again.
is sad to see. That I feel like it's definitely gonna continue.
Yeah, for a while. Like
I don't think they're gonna. I think the end of this is gonna be like Loki just accepts the fact that he is an eternal
eternally
loser.
fucked.
He's
Yeah.
like an immortal Mercutio from Romeo and
That's
Juliet.
fucking hilarious. That's fucking great. That's one of the greatest things you've ever said. I don't want it recorded. Put it in a clip for the intro. That was amazing.
I don't know if it's like intro clip
I
worthy
loved it.
clip, but it was.
I love that, and I'm not gonna forget that for a long
And the
time.
fact that you said it's not intro clip worthy, like, just makes it even more worthy of being an intro clip.
Oh my god.
Up until like this point, cut it and then boom.
Until you do your head there.
Damn it, that was supposed to be.
Anyway,
Man. Okay, so yeah, the eternal tragedy of Loki. I got a lot of respect for Sylvie because
by the way, she's amazing. The
Yeah.
actress.
yeah,
But
yeah,
she's
yeah,
been
yeah.
Killed
amazing.
it.
She's been amazing for years.
I
She's
was
a
a-
low key sleeper, like amazing. Man.
Is she?
Yeah.
Because in her first scene at the end of the second episode where she just says like, "It's not about you," I was like,
Dude, same.
I was like, I
I'm
don't know.
gonna
She
Two
this
things.
bad opening line,
She gets,
Sylvie,
like-
and then she kills
She's
it the next
literally a
episode.
better character moment to moment, and I'm gonna just be a pig. Gets hotter every step of the way. When she first got introduced, I was like, she's all right looking. By the last episode, I'm ridiculously attracted to that woman. She is gorgeous.
Yeah, no, she's.
She
She has
is.
like this, she has like this badass pixie vibe going on, like
And
like
Tom
Tinkerbell beat your
Hiddleston.
ass.
No, she's an incredible actress. Just absolutely knocked that shit out of the park. I was talking about B-15 being
What else
the
is she
underrated.
in?
She's overrated as shit. She's
Yeah.
in a bunch of. I can't name anything off the top. It's just, she's been in a bunch of things.
Okay.
I like her teeth. They're like she has
Right?
Like a snaggle
Imperfect.
tooth.
Weird,
Yeah,
right?
it's like a
Imperfect.
hot, cute, imperfect thing. It's like, oh, you little.
That's what
snarf.
I've been like, dude. Ever since fucking like Gandolfini played Tony Soprano, I've always called for like there is no need, like unless you're playing like a millionaire, billionaire, like someone that's opulent. There's no reason for you to have perfect teeth. It just takes me. I'm watching a movie star. I'm not watching the character.
That's a
That's
really
fair.
good thing about the show Sex Education on Netflix.
Yeah.
It's one of those shows where all the it's not that
I
they,
just got
some of them do,
It's a British
Bad breath.
cast.
but not just like their teeth, like just in general. It's like no one is like fucking perfect looking or gorgeous or like super like Hollywoody. You know what I mean?
they're
Now
ugly.
there
It's
are
real
people, but
people.
it's the kids in the clique who are like the hot people.
Yeah.
So it's like everything works. Everything like seems so real, and it's such a dude. That show, that might be my favorite show on all of Netflix. It's so good. I've watched it like legit beginning to end like 8 or 9 times. I'm so excited for the next season. Anyway,
I want to. She doesn't have like fucked up teeth or
Yeah,
anything,
yeah,
but
yeah.
they're just not like picture perfect. Like
No.
chiseled
They're not
into her
Hollywood
That's
skull.
what makes
teeth.
them cute. I'm
Exactly.
saying that little snag in them.
And it gives you character. You get more. And people don't think about it, and people can call me an asshole. But every little thing like that, there's a reason. Like a VFX artist will spend like 75 hours on
trying to fix
on the shadows.
Henry Cavill's mustache.
on the shadows under like a monster's foot because
Yeah.
every single thing whether you're paying attention consciously or not.
If it's fucked
sells
up, you
it.
see it.
It sells it. It
Yeah, for
sells
sure.
reality, and her having just slightly imperfect teeth, it takes me farther away from watching an actress on screen to instead I'm just watching this character unfold in front of me.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely drives home all of her like snarling and like her like aggressive scenes too, because she has like this little sharp tooth in her mouth.
Damn sure.
I
Spicy.
didn't watch the after credit scene of the episode where they prune Loki, and I went a whole 24 hours.
Stupid ass.
I still haven't
Oh.
seen it.
What?
You never watched.
I didn't know there was an after credit scene.
So you went the whole week thinking that?
No, I went through all of.
So you didn't ask how Loki wound up at the end of time?
Well, I mean, they explained it themselves, but I saw the scene of him getting pruned away and was like, they just killed Loki. The show just did that? The show just got rid of Mobius and Loki, and now it's like the series is going to be about Sylvie from now on because that's still Loki. That's cool.
That's
I
what I thought.
kind of
Yeah,
like that. But fuck, dude, I love Loki.
100% what I thought.
Yeah, I did too. And then the next day, Creighton was like, dude, that after credit scene. I was like, what?
What happened in the after?
The after credit scene, Loki wakes up.
Oh, my bad. I'm confusing what happens after the credits scene. Okay, yeah, we saw him get pruned. He wakes up with all of his variants looking at him.
Yeah.
Okay.
The like all the ones from the air like
Following
old man
episode,
Loki
okay.
and
Babel
boastful Loki,
Loki.
young Loki, alligator Loki,
You're like, who the
Child
fuck are
Loki.
these guys?
or yeah, kid Loki, whatever. I don't know.
But he that
Who
kid,
is
that
apparently-
kid was amazing.
He was so good.
Hey,
So he's gonna be.
Everybody.
They're setting up a Young Avengers.
Everybody.
They're setting up Young Avengers, and he's gonna be on it somehow. Most likely is what the idea is, because he's part of most of the
most
like.
badass part is like when he's like trying to tease him. He's like, "What did you do to get here?" And he's like,
I killed Thor.
I was like, "Shit, nigga, you like 12? Fuck."
Just if Thor was Loki kind of character. It's like if he had the gumption.
That's who
and guile.
boastful Loki was, though, because he even had like a Mjolnir style
Yeah.
weapon.
Yeah, but he was a bitch.
He really
He
was.
really was.
He was pathetically bitch, man.
He
I was
probably got slapped around by like.
very
Odin.
disappointed in his character. I was
Yeah,
like,
no,
"Dude, you're a hoe."
that was like one of
Well,
the
he's supposed
little
to be.
letdowns.
He's boastful.
Yeah.
That's like his thing.
Damn.
I thought they were gonna do something a little cooler with him,
Yeah,
but
for
you know,
sure.
him being a Loki, it still makes sense. I'm not complaining. It still makes sense.
Yeah,
it still
plays to his
works.
character.
Yeah, exactly.
In all the trailers, they really like pulled half of the
President
trailers
Loki.
from that episode.
Yeah.
Like,
I knew you were gonna
so
say
much
that.
of the shit got fucking like sidebarred for like this is not gonna end up being cool at all. Like this is so
This
whack.
is gonna get people to
He gets his hand eaten off by a fucking
He got
alligator
Captain
version.
Hooked.
Yeah, for he got
100%.
Captain Hook.
100%.
Loki would Captain Hook himself. That's so funny. God, that show.
He fucking he did hook himself. That's
Yeah.
a zinger.
Ooh.
I never even watched the trailers.
You know, funny enough, neither did I.
I'm such a nerd for trailers. I love them. I can't not
How
watch
you
them.
feel about it? Wait, let me finish my episode 6. Right,
Yeah, I'm
please.
sorry.
15 minutes later, the fucking double catone conversation catastrophe.
Love you too, man.
Likewise. Now, God, it was so fucking good. I like the implications moving forward. Let's talk about let's brainstorm. What's everybody's explanation for why the fuck they don't know who he is? How you guys feeling about that at the end?
For why they don't know who is.
Why Mobius was like, "You're an analyst, right? What's your name? Who are
Well,
you?"
so
He's in
a
before
different
then, they
timeline.
have one timeline, right? Now they're dealing in a TVA where there are multiple fucking timelines, and like whatever their king is, who's in charge of the TVA, is in the middle of this multiverse war. So there's probably just a million Lokis like that are friends with the TVA now, because in the main timeline they prune everybody.
No, I think he's asking why, if he got sent back with the same device, am I right? The same device, why isn't he sent back to the TVA he left? Why is he sent back to a new universe's TVA?
It's not a new universe.
Well, it is, because it's got a Kang the Conqueror in it.
Yes, but time is what changed. Like there is only one like universe, or there's not one universe. There's one multiverse, and now there is actually a multiverse. Up until that moment, there wasn't a multiverse. There was their universe that Kang was keeping in check, or He Who Remains was keeping in check. But now that it's not being kept in check because Sylvie killed him,
The Undying one.
yeah, He Who Remains.
Yeah.
That's his.
I know.
He has a lot of names. It's
Yeah,
Kang.
for sure.
Can we just say Kang? Why are we
We
so
can say
annoying?
Kang.
Technically, it's Nathaniel.
Technically. You
Mr.
can call- you can-
Richards.
You can call him
Yeah,
Richards.
Mr. Richards.
If you wanna be
Anyway,
formal.
Mr. Dick.
Okay, no, for sure. I get what you're saying, but
There's
okay.
multiple Lokis now. We're just not seeing any in that moment. It's supposed to set up him saying, what section are you from or what department? Like, there are multiple, like there were many Lokis in that, like, timeless void where they send people to die by Eliath. Like, now, no Lokis get pruned. Everyone gets pruned in that original because there's one timeline. But now there's, like, fucking, like, in that moment, there was 58 that day happening. So there's just fucking hundreds, thousands, hundreds of thousands even.
Infinite
Loki's just walking around like Rick and Morty in the fucking
So
Council
Citadel
of Ricks.
So
Yeah.
are you that Mobius? So are you saying that Mobius does or doesn't remember our Loki?
does not.
He might remember our Loki, but in that moment he can't differentiate which Loki it is because they all wear variant jackets.
You think that's what's happening?
I don't
I think that's what they're trying to set up.
Okay, that's
Because otherwise, why would he be confused? Why would him and B-15 still be friends? Like, there's definitely going to be like an amalgamation of information happening.
what do you think?
I think that he was. I just don't think that Mobius even knows who he is. Like, this is like a non-issue where he's from. Like, Loki's not been one of these variants. He's just he looks at him and guesses he's an analyst because of what he's wearing and how he's coming up talking about all this data, the multiversal and all this shit.
Well, that probably wasn't our Mobius, is what it is.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, okay. There's probably that is a Mobius who does know Loki's and is like not super confused by what's going on in that
Yeah, that's
situation.
one of the things I kept trying to say.
We probably have to find our Mobius.
and not talk about because the only thing I ever knew about the TVA before this, like before the show,
I knew Zip.
I knew like two things. No, I knew one thing, and that was that there's a bunch of Mobiuses, like within the TVA. There's an infinite number. Like as soon as one dies, another one just comes back. And I always figured they were gonna play more with that. And the whole time when she's talking about like your analyst on the side, I thought in episode 4 or 5 they were gonna bring
a second one.
They were gonna show all the Mobiuses.
Oh, that would have killed me.
Yeah.
When they pruned him,
Oh my God.
Oh, sad.
Shattered my heart.
got me, bro.
Shattered my heart.
Because like
Disgusting.
that's what made me think like super severely that Loki was fucked too.
Yeah.
Because like that was let's just say for a second that they do it like that. They kill off Mobius that way. Picture perfect tragedy ending for him.
Amazing.
I was like this, like I'm devastated,
Shakespearean.
but Shakespearean level, perfect, like Red Wedding level, fantastic kill.
Tragic.
Like just kills, like guts you. It's like maybe I had a jet ski, which objective, like from the outside looking in, is a hilarious line out of
That
context.
scene looks stupid as hell.
Stupid if you don't know what's happening. How can they, dude? The MCU's fucking incredible. They make that line. Maybe I had a jet ski being someone's last line. They make it not just poetic, but fucking tragic.
Heart-wrenching.
Kills, guts you, dude. Like stabs you with a fucking hook knife and pulls everything out. Like what? Gunner,
So,
your words.
No, I disagree with what you were saying. Like,
Did you say just agree or disagreed?
I
Disagree.
agree.
Oh, okay. Fuck
I
you.
heard disagree.
I heard it
I
too.
think he just got put in like a different timeline. Now they're all split off, and it's the same Mobius, but he's
And our
like,
people have to find the needles in the haystack
Yeah.
to get back on the same.
He's like, oh shit,
picture.
what do I gotta do?
So
I'm
you
just gonna
don't-
try to get back to the others.
so you
now.
think that Mobius and that agent aren't the same ones that we had just seen?
Probably not.
Okay, and we just don't know where they went.
Or they are still endless beings time-wise, and it's been so long that this whole time Kang might have sent another Loki right off the rip, and he's been thinking he's been working with Loki the whole time, but then a bunch of other Lokis. There's so many ways they can write it. That's the
Another
genius
way-
about it.
Another way I thought too is like maybe the TVA is Damn, this was a really complex thought. Not even really. That makes me sound smart. I'm not. Like
You're smart.
maybe the TVA is like because TVA is outside of time. That was like the thing they established first. Like it's
The
outside.
TVA itself, yeah.
Yeah, it's outside.
It's in
of
like
it.
a voidless, timeless,
Yeah, that's able to like go
Timeless
in and out
void,
of the time.
not voidless. That makes no sense.
Yeah. So like maybe everything in the TVA, even though it's outside of time, has to be like relative to time. And since the timeline like reset, like whatever the fucking event was where he's like, I don't know what the fuck is going on anymore. I don't know, man. It's confusing. I don't think, but I can't explain this right. But I don't think anybody in this room is right. Like I think,
Nah.
Yeah, no, for sure. We're
Yeah.
probably all wrong.
yeah.
It's
And-
fun to theorize, but like,
yeah, it is. But
there's
like,
no
I'm
way
like,
where they brought the Rick and Morty writers for this shit. Like it's
really.
yeah, the chick, like one of the
I
so
don't know.
Loki and Ant-Man Quantumania are both written by like Disney's been stealing all of Rick and Morty's writers. Like Dan Harmon and Justin Roiland are the only ones left. Like they're not really, but like they have legit taken so much talent from Rick and Morty and been using it. And that's why Loki and WandaVision have been so good, is because like they're trying to. I think that Disney,
They understand their audience.
They understand the audience, but also like they understand that watching Rick, like if you watch Rick and Morty, that's the only direction that the MCU can go, is a Rick and Morty style universe.
Yeah, now that it's funny you said that. Yeah, Rick and Morty has like not beating everybody to the punch, but it's like the most popular example of a multiverse right now.
Yeah, and it does it flawlessly.
Mhm.
It's the perfect example of
Have
what
you
a
guys seen,
multiversal show is.
I haven't
Continuity of it.
there's theories that like season 5 right now isn't even like the Rick and Morty that we've been watching. The season 5 is like
I've only saw the first one. I've been letting them stack a little.
So
That's interesting, though.
I mean, even before season 5 starts, we're on our 3rd iteration that we know of. Like, it could be more, of the family outside of Rick and Morty themselves. Like, this is the 3rd iteration of Beth, Jerry, and Summer, potentially, because they keep switching universes. Like, the first 3 are dead because the fucking
Cronenbergs.
The Cronenbergs. Well, they didn't die then though, but they go back and see them and kill them, and then fucking the fucking Morty's mind blowers. They had to switch because of the squirrels. You fucked with squirrels, Morty. You don't fuck with squirrels. So like we know at least one other time.
We'll grant you a wish if you come and talk to us.
If you talk to us, we'll grant you wishes and give you candy. But they fucking. So that's 2 times we know of.
Yeah.
Like. The thing that's so great about that show and now Loki is that we have to understand there's great potential that none of the characters we've ever seen in 2 episodes back to back have been the same.
Yeah.
How gutsy is it for Marvel to go like, all right, we're just gonna play fast and loose with the America's and with the world's understanding of quantum physics? Like,
I mean, I think it's fast and loose, but for the age we're in, it makes sense because you know what everyone has now? A fucking computer in their pocket.
Yeah, for sure.
Everyone can look up whatever they want. Everyone can have. They just have to know what they're looking for. If they want information, they can have it. So shit like that isn't hard to. You know how many fucking analysis videos there are about the show that put this shit in layman's for the idiots?
Shit,
we're the idiots, but we're like I think we're a little above the rest of the idiots.
Just a touch.
Yeah, we're a little better.
Sorry,
idiots.
When the show right before the show started, I thought because this is leading up to like Doctor Strange, Multiverse Madness, Spider-Man, Far From Home, whatever the fuck, not Far From Home, No Way Home. I figured by the end of this, they're going to set up the multiverse. These cocksuckers set up the multiverse in 7 minutes. They set up the fact that this is like the multiverse is possible and that there are other universes that are constantly being pruned within minutes of the first episode.
Dude. Hey, y'all. Did that scare the fuck out of y'all when she showed up? That fucking destroyed me.
At the end of time?
The clock, bro. Miss Minutes?
I figured she was probably going to be
a
bigger part of it.
Did she jump scare you?
She didn't jump scare me, no.
Really?
No,
it's literally just looking at a dark void and then, hey, like just appeared. I literally screamed. I went, like I fucking, bro, I was by myself, screamed like a little girl. I was really so scared. It was so, and have you guys seen the pictures of her, like the Photoshop? Hold on, I can show the stream too. Ollie's going to see it first because he's over here. Who's so good. Who sent me this? Fuck. Was it you?
Yes, we are. We are all in the same building.
Could you imagine? Okay, I'll show it. Look over there. Oh shit, bro. That's her. That's like then they Photoshop.
Yeah,
that's the moment where she shows
awesome.
up. That was dude. Also, she is much bigger of a character in the future than she was that season. Like they are setting her up to be the Ultron big bad. I bet she is Ultron. That's another. No, seriously. Like, cause look, Ultron didn't die.
No.
No.
I don't think. I never
Definitely
thought so.
still alive somewhere. Nathaniel Richards.
At
Nathaniel Richards' character. Like, if you like, so there's a version of like the Young Avengers where a young Nathaniel Richards came back, used time travel for good, and became Iron Lad because he loves Iron Man.
Yeah.
It's like if you look, there's a still in that image when Loki and Sylvie are walking in from behind the desk, and you can see Iron Man's helmet in the corner because he like respects him and he has like memorabilia from all across time, and one of them is his helmet. He loves Iron Man, and most of his technology, Nathaniel Richards, the character, is based off of, he's a historian, the character. That's like, he wasn't a superhero first, he wasn't a scientist first, he was a historian. Because of history, he started focusing on Iron Man, blah, 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 got really into it all. With all that said, if he did that, he's going to know everything about Ultron, everything about all that, and he's developing an AI. Miss Minutes is orange, like Jarvis's AI. But Ultron's evil. You have all the, it's like Vision all over again. You have all the different overlays of these characters that can make one thing. Is the Infinity Stone really running you? Can we get it to be, can we get you to be you without the stone? Is Miss Minutes Ultron?
I don't think so.
Not at all? You don't think? I don't know. I mean, when
know
you have a,
I still don't
when you have a
understand.
timeless void to let an AI like thrive.
Before I lose this, I'm sorry, because you said the Iron Man thing. It's one of my favorite. I haven't thought about this in years. One of my favorite quotes from the comics is Reed Richards talking about Tony Stark. he goes, Tony Stark is a man from the future who's constantly raging against the chains of time. Which
That's
is
a great line.
It's one of the greatest lines ever. It's just constantly raging against the chains of time.
Who do you think they're gonna get to play the Fantastic Four?
Or if they fucking give a shit, they'll get John
Krasinski.
Krasinski and fucking
Emily Blunt, right?
If they give a shit.
If they like us.
Yeah. Well, John Krasinski's just so obscenely talented.
Yeah, he
Just
is.
Someone brought this up to me the other day. It was really, really interesting because it was somebody that had like missed all of like A Quiet Place and all that, and they just watched it. He said, which no one has touched on. He said, I was watching. I was like, how did this movie get made? How did this happen? Like, what was the pitch? Like, okay, we're gonna have a horror movie, and there are going to be 8 lines of dialogue. It's going to be completely silent for an hour and a half. And then he said, at the end of it, when the credits were rolling, he said, "Oh, it's because Krasinski just rubbed his dick all over this."
It's so good. Have you seen the second one yet?
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's so good.
It's
I
not.
saw it in the theaters.
I did too,
It
bro.
was awesome.
We did too. I saw it with you.
Yeah.
It was so. Did you watch it?
Nah.
Are you like?
I don't give a fuck about it. So like you can talk about it.
Okay, yeah. Like, don't give a fuck about it. Like us talking, or like, would you be open to watch it?
Nah, I'm not watching that, dog. I
Really?
don't watch horror movies or like thrillers.
Okay,
or
me either. I'm a bitch. They're
Yes,
just these
different.
two
Wait,
specifically
I'm not-
are
that's
just
not
good.
from the top.
They're good
One,
films.
my forearms aren't that small. 2, I'm not a bitch. I don't believe in. All right, so like horror movies for me are like people who don't like eating spicy food. Because it's just like, why would I do this to myself? Ready? Like, I was having a comfortable day. My anxiety levels were low. Nothing made me uncomfortable. There was no reason to look in that dark corner behind
That's
me.
how I am.
Then I watched them, and then it's like, okay, what was the reason to heighten my overall anxiety level? And that's why I don't watch horror movies.
It's a great
not
argument.
like
It is a good argument for horror movies, but this isn't that. It is a movie with horror in it. It's a good movie that has horror moments.
I wouldn't describe it as horror at all.
Yeah, it's like
It's
I would.
suspenseful.
Yeah, I would describe it as horror, like classification wise. I guess, like as like a check mark to put like a
I don't
if you're
know, man.
tagging a YouTube video.
If I was
like this movie is pretty. It is cool. It is horror. Like
Nah, if I was putting it in a category, I'd put it like in suspenseful thriller.
yeah, the first one's definitely way more horror than the second one, but they're both great movies. Like I don't know how to explain it without spoiling it.
Oh, I mean, I already read the synopsis.
Okay, well then you should watch it because it is a good movie.
Nah, just don't even.
Okay,
No,
okay,
This is a dying battle.
okay. I got you. You guys know him better. But yeah, dude, the 3 scene, the multi-layered triple scene in the middle of the movie, where like everything is like happening at once, that ends with when he stabs that guy's leg.
Yeah.
When he stabs that guy's leg, that might have
Hey, let's,
been Cillian Murphy.
So Loki.
I know. I'm just.
No, it's okay. If they get Gunner to talk.
Who could Cillian Murphy be in the MCU?
Who the fuck is Cillian Murphy?
Have you seen Peaky Blinders?
No. He hasn't.
Inception. He's the guy that they're trying to incept.
He's Scarecrow in Batman.
He's Scarecrow in Batman.
Dude, it's funny you said that because before you said Peaky Blinders, fucking strong ass face, blue eyes,
Yep.
Yeah.
high ass cheekbones.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I know
Got
that guy.
incredible actor.
He's alright. I'm more of a fan of
Gillian Schlurfy.
remember the 3 acting.
In-
Chris Hemsworth.
Yes.
Yeah,
also
he's way
awesome.
better.
Who could Cillian Murphy play in the MCU? That
It's
was the
Killian,
question?
but yes.
He could be. I can see him as Reed Richards, with the like the. Honestly,
I don't know about Reed
I
Richards.
could see him as a Doctor Doom.
That's what I was gonna
Yes.
say. He's a good villain.
He's a very good villain for the MCU.
He's a good actor. He, could
He
be
is a good
Reed
actor.
Richards.
Definitely.
You know,
For
fuck
sure.
you guys. Just because I don't watch movies doesn't
Who
mean
else
my
could be-
opinions don't matter.
Who else could be Reed Richards?
Oh, somebody else, huh? Just not
Outside of
Gossip.
John Krasinski, because everyone wants it to be John Krasinski, but John
Yeah,
Krasinski.
it's not a very original take.
I should be that dude from. You ever seen The Pianist?
Adrian Brody?
Yeah.
Yo.
No. I wouldn't. Nah.
He might
You
be
know who
too
it could
old
be?
now.
Damien. Fuck. Fuck the British dude from Band of Brothers.
I
Captain
didn't
Winters,
watch
the
Band
mate.
of Brothers.
Shit.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's Damien something or something Damien.
He's too short.
He's 6'2". He's huge. Yeah, that guy's gigantic.
Like the main character in Band of Brothers.
Yeah.
Oh.
All his friends are short. All those little Italians are short.
He
They all look
seems
like me and
really
Michael.
short.
I love that Gunner's argument ended with,
He seems really short in the show.
He does kind of seem short. It's because everyone around it, he's like a kind of like pencil-y guy. He's not like super strong looking, and he's surrounded by bulkish fucking World War II Brooklyn veterans, like just absolute tanks of humans and little Italians like me and Michael. Like all the Italians in the show are like your size.
Don't patronize me by saying little Italians like me and Michael.
I'm just
Don't you
saying
fucking
we are
patronize
small.
me.
We are the like. You more so than me are the classic example of like you're literally wearing a fucking tank top. Your hair's a little bit wet. You have a fantastic beard going. You're young. Like you are literally a World War II veteran right now. Like, you look like a fucking character from Band of Brothers.
This is a hippy dippy beard.
Put on a pair of fucking dog tags and you're fucking there, dude. Dude, when I was saying,
Hey,
this
what,
to
we're
your
gonna
hair,
fight some fucking Nazis and shit? What the fuck is
Shut
going on over
do
here?
your hair a little more like up, like I'm telling you, we just need to send in to Marvel a cast video of you being Wolverine. Because, I mean, you look like you're him right now. Right now, you're so Wolverine. Camera can't tell, but, like, look dead on at him. He's got the tank top. Like, tell me a little bit of blood on that tank top, a little bit of dirt. Like, you know, his claws. Like,
some
tell me
Canadian rhythms.
Yeah, we just have to give you some sideburns and spiky hair, and you're fucking, not even spiky, but you know his little fucking hook shit on his hair. You're a young Wolverine.
I appreciate it.
Listen, I love Daniel Radcliffe as much as everyone, and they're still eyeing him to be Wolverine, but, like, you're him, man.
Harry Potter.
Say bub.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bub.
See? That's Wolverine.
That's not it.
There was. Do y'all remember Mad TV on Cartoon Network?
Yes.
There's a great thing. I was talking about Wolverine, and he's just walking around. It's just talking about how he just takes care of the place. Like his actual duty on like at the X Mansion is that he's a caretaker.
And a history teacher.
Yeah, and a history teacher.
That's funny.
And he's
It's
going
very
around and he like pulls his claws out and it's got like a scrubby brush or some shit on it and he goes like, I'm really good at what I do and what I do is clean your house.
That's fucking fantastic. And look, like he just did a flawless impression. You're Wolverine,
I
Michael.
really don't think that's what that was.
Look at Tom Holland, man. This
Tom
guy was
Holland's
a fucking nerd for Iron Man when he was 12 because he was watching Iron Man when he was 12
I mean,
because
but let's
he's
be
like
fair.
our age.
Yeah, but
And now the guy is motherfucking
He's
Spider-Man.
been doing like between 12 and Spider-Man. He did like a bunch of like really big and acclaimed plays. Like he did a lot of stage work. Like he didn't.
You
have
have
no
done
name.
some stage work.
Yeah,
and
but
you're bulky like Wolverine. You have
Lancaster.
lived the Wolverine
I
lifestyle.
have done Lancaster Community Theater, Chris.
Yes, but hey, man, some people get. I mean, look at fucking Millie Bobby Brown. She didn't do shit. She had never done anything.
Why'd you say? Like
No, I'm saying she literally had never done anything and then cried into her cell phone and it became 11. She sent in a fucking phone camera audition. Not a webcam, not like a kind of nice cam, not even a good phone. It's like grainy as fuck. And she's just sitting there crying. And they were like, yo, we need to shave your head. And then boom, you have you have Stranger Things. Like,
Listen,
Tell
one
me-
thing, you got a pretty mug, kid, but listen here, you gotta.
we got to whack off that hair. Dude,
whack off.
you are Wolverine. You can be Wolverine. I'm telling you. Like, listen, some things happen out of nowhere.
Well,
This is
I'm
one of
gonna-
those things that can happen.
Well, I'm gonna
You
call
look like
my
him.
agent.
No. We are going to prepare some dialogue. We are going to pull some lines from the movies, and we're just going to get you to act them out.
Who'd you hang up on?
Oh, you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Calm down. Call
On-
me and not say anything. Having a conversation on the like. Why are you talking to somebody else? Why you call me a fucking idiot?
Do you think he could be Wolverine? Like, for a second.
I'm the heart of this thought.
Yeah, he is the first.
1,000% the heart of this thought.
I love you.
Yeah, likewise.
Gunner?
Hmm.
You think Michael could be Wolverine?
Maybe.
All right, what is this? All right, what is this?
Maybe. Gunner, I also love you. I love
does
all
this
three.
turn
I love you guys. I miss doing this podcast every Monday. We need to set that in stone.
Need
down.
more than
Except
every
next Monday.
Every Monday at 2.
Give or take, yeah. I'm
Take or
down.
give.
Take or give.
Gives me time to go to the gym and then take a nap.
Yeah, no, I'm cool with that. I don't care when.
Hello, or Mama Native.
She's been here for a while. No one said anything in quite a while. We don't talk to Chad on this podcast as much, which I like.
So Vincent D'Onofrio coming back as Kingpin.
He's coming back as Kingpin. Did you
Yeah.
watch the Netflix Marvel shows?
Hell no.
With the Agents
Hell
of
no?
Shield and what else?
No,
was
no,
it?
No, 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 no,
Punisher
that-
and Daredevil
Yeah.
specifically.
Oh yeah, I watched Daredevil.
Daredevil's fantastic. So Vincent D'Onofrio is Kingpin.
This is the guy who played.
He's coming back.
Private Pile and.
Haven't they
Full
like?
Metal
Oh
Jacket.
yeah, huge
Canonized?
motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they
Kingpin.
cut those from the canon was the official statement, but
That was back in the day though. There was like
That was
something
like
they.
3-4 years
There's
ago.
something
now.
they did behind the scenes recently that implied that Daredevil was
So-
about to get made canon.
so Charlie Cox, the guy that plays Daredevil, is gonna be Tom Holland's lawyer.
Who?
Tom Holland, Spider-Man.
No, who? Who's gonna be his lawyer?
Daredevil is gonna be his lawyer in the new Spider-Man movie.
Chris. Matt Murdock is gonna be.
Matt
the lawyer.
Murdock is gonna be.
Chuck Dix.
If that's not his multiverse name, like from another universe, the name's Chuck Dix. I fight crime and I'm blind.
The name's Chuck Dix. I fight crime and I'm deaf.
Yes. Oh my God. Anyway,
He's just got-
that's
he just
amazing.
has
That's
He has
amazing,
So
Michael.
hawk sight.
Damn, I had a really
Hey,
fucking
Nathan.
joke, but I didn't have the audio. I didn't have the moral aptitude. I wasn't lacking in enough.
Just say what you're gonna
more,
say.
Nah, because he would have said it more like, "Oh yeah,
That's
Yeah,
messed
yeah,
up.
yeah.
Gotta stop, man.
Chuck Dix.
No, 'cause it get
It is
it
funny,
gets so
Ali.
I
You were
know.
right. It's
Nah,
hilarious.
It's really good.
Every
Never
time,
gonna catch me.
every time I think of Helen Keller,
I can feel your vibrations in the ground because I can't hear.
it always goes back to that Family Guy skit where they're playing Marco Polo in the pool.
Oh
with
my
Helen
God.
Keller. Marco. The fuck this?
Anyway,
You know what Family Guy is? Why it works so well, man? It's a bunch of it's a bunch of like reply situational jokes created to be framed in the form of a cartoon. Because like
Yeah.
pretty much what Seth MacFarlane is doing is like, hey, that's just like such and such and such, and then creates the cutaway from that.
exactly.
It's literally like that's why it flows so well. It's like the visual to conversational humor.
Which one's better for you, American Dad or Family Guy?
Oh man, look, that goes back. I like them like equally. It's just about boils down to the episode. American Dad, in my opinion,
I think
probably
it's a
been
better
consist-
show.
Yeah, it's been consistently a better show, but I think what Family Guy is too busted wide. Like you're just gonna
Yeah.
get, you're gonna
Family
get,
Guy's like, look at me, and American Dad's like, hey, come look at this.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
American Dad definitely is a better show to follow, and it keeps more consistency
Yes.
in his characters. But the point of Family Guy is to be busted wide open.
Family Guy says to look at it. People tell you to look at American Dad.
Yeah, for sure.
Me and Liam had this conversation the other day, and I'd really like to bring it to the podcast. So that's what I'm doing now, tabling it. But what Family Guy needs is what The Simpsons got, which is a feature-length film, but a Family Guy, not just an episode,
Not the Star Wars
really,
ones.
not a Star Wars
Like
special,
about those characters.
not just a really long episode of Family Guy, but a substantial, plot-driven, character-driven film. And I think it would be fucking great. Do you? This is the selling point. Chris, wait.
Okay.
This is the selling point.
Okay.
It would have to have a 25-minute chicken fight. It would have to have the longest and most egregious chicken fight. The action, the violence that would be put on screen. Dude, do you see what
It would be awesome.
It would be
Okay,
so
you.
sick.
I was so against it until you said that. I'm glad you said that.
They should make it in John Wick form. It's Peter going to fight the chicken, and he's like the end boss.
It would be awesome if, like, the whole time Peter has
vice
this weird
versa.
vendetta that, like, it's the mystery, like it's an espionage spy thriller, and like you know nothing about what his intentions are, only that like he's bringing the whole family along, and then at the end everyone has died or been left behind, and he had to keep progressing, and then he gets to the chicken's house, and then the last 30 minutes of the movie is literally a ridiculously long, like Michael said, animated fight that's 25 or 30 minutes long, and he beats the chicken, and the
Or
movie ends.
The whole movie's about the chicken.
Or the whole movie's about the chicken and none of the characters.
And
Nah, look,
Peter's the
out of
main
those
boss.
two shows, American Dad could.
You saved that whole fucking idea with the last word. But Peter's the boss.
So, like, Family Guy, it's like you say, does a little too many of those jokes for a movie like that to work, I think. Those, like,
Cap.
it's. You think?
I know,
Well,
for
it's
sure.
like American Dad, though, could have a movie and not have a bunch of, like, yeah, it's like a nurse who, like, throws people or something.
But
Like,
what would
that
an
kind of
American
setup
Dad
for a
movie
joke.
be about?
No, that I got you.
It could be anything, dude.
Klaus.
Roger
It
alone.
Yeah, you could have like
Roger's
alien
the best
origin
character.
Story. You could have like honestly like fucking World of Worlds that starts through Roger somehow, gives you action scenes. You also could just have like any level of espionage, any like big high stakes, funny, gotta save the president shit. I think what he's getting at is that American Dad is a film you'd have a lot more focus going and like you kind of know where you're gonna go. But I disagree. I get what you're saying, but I disagree. I think the same thing that you think would be the weakness for the film would be its strong point.
Maybe the movie should be about Stewie and Brian, like a really
Stewie and Brian movie
cool,
would be pretty sick.
long one.
Everybody loves the Stewie and Brian episodes.
Yes, the Bank Vault episode is one of my favorites in animated history.
You and me had a conversation about it a couple days ago. It's just brilliant conceptually. The way it's like
The idea.
pulled out. Two characters, no cutscenes. just two people talking to each other, and it doesn't take away from it. It's all that happens.
It's
in
My
one
Dinner with
space.
Andre with two characters
Yeah.
that everyone likes and already knows about.
Yeah. It's
Like,
it's
My Dinner with Andre is a great concept, but no one knows who the fuck those characters are when that movie starts. Like, having a My Dinner with... It's like the Community when they do the My Dinner with Andre. It's two characters you love that never have an actual conversation. They have, like, a little quip against quip for a second with each other. But now, for a whole episode, they're going to sit there and have a fucking ethical conversation about life and death and, like, their friendship. And it's a parody of itself. Like, literally in the moment, Abed is joking about it. Like, he's doing it to be funny for his birthday. But on all levels, it works. My Dinner with Andre is such an amazing concept that they did in the bank vault.
Explain My Dinner with Andre for anybody that doesn't know it.
Yeah, sorry. My Dinner with Andre is a movie
'Cause you
about
were
two
just throwing
friends.
it around. It's not like the
Yeah,
biggest reference in the world.
My Dinner with Andre is a movie about two friends. The whole movie is them sitting down to dinner, having a conversation about life. Like, it's just a conversation about life and, like, everything going on and how one of them has, like, gone and lived this weird, crazy life. And he's explaining it to the other because he has all these epiphanies about life and he wants to talk to his friend that he hasn't seen in decades about it. And it's this fucking... It's a great movie, but it's also... You have no emotional connection to it because you don't know the characters. So, something like the Bank Vault episode with those two characters who just sit there and have to talk, it's like... It's the perfect version. They do such a good... Did you ever watch The Princess Bride? You know the Sicilian? The guy that he kills, who like he kills with poison? It's him.
Inconceivable.
He's inconceivable. It's him and another... He's not Andre. The other one's Andre. But he's the one talking to Andre. And Andre's the one who's, like, lived this crazy life and, like, trying to explain it to this guy. And did you watch Community? No? Okay, well, they do it. They do it in that. Abed is, like, a big movie nerd. And for his birthday, he has a My Dinner with Andre with the smart character on the show. It's very funny. But a lot of things try and do it bad. But the Volt episode's a good example of it doing it. And there's a lot of shows and movies that should do that don't. Like, Loki kind of did it with
Well,
Loki and
it's
Sylvie in their episode alone on the planet where everything's, like, going
Well,
to
that's
shit.
incredibly art house, and it's also, like, not everybody.
My Dinner with Andre, you mean?
No, I'm talking about the concept of that.
Oh, yeah.
It's very art house, and it's also, like, it's going to polarize people, and not everybody's going to love it. And when you're on, like, a network television show, you just can't shoot for that all the time.
Not all the time. That's why. Yeah, it's definitely not a
That's
thing
why
you
you
just
don't.
do.
I'm saying that's why you don't see more of it, is because it's a big, big gamble. Like, it could go real bad.
Yeah, but I mean, and again, I'm not saying, like, people should do the My Dinner with Andre and, like, just that be the concept, but
Be
there-
more, like, courageous with taking chances and, like, with your audience's attention span. I feel like most television shows and movies that are made by big production companies, they don't give the audience enough credit for, like, their attention span, you know?
Attention span. Funny you bring that up. So look, let's get to the heart of this conversation.
Did you just say that because none of us were paying attention to him?
No.
Okay.
No.
I was paying attention.
We should all go see The Green Knight when it comes out.
I agree.
The what?
It's a movie. Sidebar. Anyway, go ahead. Say what you were about to say.
I don't have shit to say. What the fuck is the Green Knight?
It's a new A24 movie coming out.
It looks really
Dev
cool.
Patel.
A24 movie, man.
What's wrong with A24?
Pretentious ass.
Hey, man, someone's got to make movies.
Swear they're at Sundance this year.
A24 is
Oh.
carrying the movie industry right now.
They really are.
I love
They're
their movies.
killing it.
You know Dev Patel?
Huh?
You know Dev Patel?
The one that couldn't hear?
Deaf? Are you making a deaf joke about Dev? I hate.
Do
Did
you
you watch Slumdog Millionaire?
Yeah.
Him, the main guy. He's Dev Patel.
Yeah. He's the guy in this new movie. It looks really interesting. The trailer is a very interesting trailer because, like, here is everything you need to know about the Green Knight.
So about one of the knights from the Round Table. I can't remember which one. It's not
Arthur.
It's not Arthur. It's
There's a
his.
bunch.
I think it's his brother-in-law.
No.
It might be Lancelot.
Guinevere's brother?
Yeah, I
Maybe.
can't remember.
I don't know.
Anyway, it's about one of them that isn't Arthur going off and fighting the Green Knight. The Green Knight is like this ethereal, like, tree person that comes and if you kill him, you have to take his axe and take it back to his forest, and that's all I can say because I can't remember.
That's fair. Okay.
But it looks fucking cool. It looks dank as fuck, and Dev Patel's amazing. He's a great actor. He's in a movie called Lion that went, like, so underseen, and it's like one of those movies. It's like an epic. Like it's fucking crazy. It's-
Separated from his family, like from birth.
Yeah.
Looking for them.
yeah.
Every
Life of Pi
night they
kinda
look up
epic.
at the same stars as me and wonder where I am. That one.
Yeah, but that was a horrible.
Wow.
Terry,
I
he's
didn't watch it.
Australian in the
didn't watch
movie. that was horrible.
Y'all want to hear me doing it? Is that what this is gonna be?
No, but
That's I didn't want to do it either.
he got an Oscar nomination for that movie. But it's the first like half of that movie, like legit the entire like there's more movie as with him as a little kid. It's about him and his brother. Like the first chunk is them living in like where do they live? I want to just say India, but I want to say where, but I don't know. But they're like little kids, and he gets separated from his brother. He gets on a train, and his brother doesn't get on the train with him by accident, and he just goes, and he's like 4, like he's a little kid, and he never sees his brother again. And like the movie's about him getting older and then figuring out how to get home and trying to find his brother. And it's a true story is the crazy thing. Like it's a real it's a real thing that happened. It's fucking nuts. Nicole Kidman's in it. She's great. It's a great film.
Yeah,
like
what's
it's
it called?
such a good movie. And it went under everyone's radar. It got nominated for fucking everything under the roof. Like it was so good. And it just fucking went, no one saw it. Like it made no money. Like no one talks about it. It's one of those like hidden gems. Like 20th Century Women is a movie on Netflix that's also like just a hidden gem out of nowhere that's so good. There's some great movies that no one saw. And it's a fucking tragedy.
There's a million, yeah.
Yeah, it's I can't remember where we started that. Green Knight, Dev Patel. We should go see that, Gunnar. I'm with you on that. I agree. But attention spans. What about that?
The
Fucking
point,
shit at this table.
the point I made was that like, going back to the Family Guy, the vault scene is
Yeah.
that most big production companies that are in charge of like making movies and television shows kind of undersell or just they don't give the audience enough credit for like how long they can pay attention to one thing before you cut to the next thing, which I think to your point, it would make a lot more great content if they would just kind of treat us how we're supposed to be treated. You know, they're really just kind of playing to the one like the numbers of people who aren't gonna think very hard about it or who want the cuts to the next thing to keep their attention held.
Yeah, that's one thing I really liked about the last episode of Loki was like there's no fighting. Like they fight for a second at the end, but that episode was everything I wanted it to be. A giant, super like eye-gripping fucking conversation, which is like funny, but like they killed it. Like there's not a moment of that episode where you are not on the edge of your seat and soaking up every fucking word they're giving you.
Wondering what the fuck they're about to say.
Yeah, what's going on? Who are these people? What's happening? Fuck you, Miss Minutes. Like everything was amazing. Like it was so good. And like the floor of it had Emergency Awesome was explaining how in depth and amazing they go like at lengths to make artistically the show good. The floor of that like Citadel at the end of time is it's got gold
Cracks because it's supposed to
Well-
emphasize the.
Well, they're not cracks. They're fill. They're like filler. Is like they fill in. They keep things together, and it's a type of thing to fix jewelry and like weapons and shit.
It's a Japanese thing.
Yeah, it's a Japanese thing. I
It's,
can't remember.
It's like the
Gold
art of
dust.
something with K, and what it is.
Yeah.
They are cracks. They're filled in, but they're still
Well,
cracks.
yeah.
You basically are highlighting the cracks because the Japanese believe that the cracks and scars and something are part of its history.
Exactly.
So instead of ignoring them, you highlight them. And his entire like not just the floor,
Everything.
but like everything.
The
in
fucking walls,
and
the
castle and
ceilings.
shit, everything's like
The
kept
entire
together
castle is being held
by
by
gold, and the implication is like with everything with the time, like everything's. That's what I'm looking for.
It's all
He has
part
to,
of
like-
history.
Yeah, he has to like piece all this shit together and like barely keep it moving, but he doesn't. Or even like you said, like he has Iron Man's helmet and stuff like that. That end of time castle you constructed is an amalgamation
Of
a bunch
everything.
of different pieces of reality glued together, and the cracks in them are supposed to be beautiful. Like it's supposed to highlight the fact that he like threw all that shit together.
And artistically, just with the theme of the show and
Beautiful.
specifically that episode, it's flawless.
Yeah, it
You know
looks
what I mean?
really
It's
good.
one of those amazing things. That whole episode it does that, and it's so good. And there's nothing like there's no fighting. There's no thing to keep you gripped. That's another reason I think they're really starting to understand that their audience can keep up. You know, because like, dude, I've watched everything
Yeah.
in the fucking. I've watched everything that's in the MCU.
How long do you think
except
they're
Jessica
gonna-
Jones season 2 and Luke Cage season 2. I've watched everything else.
How long do you think they're gonna like keep him going as the villain though, because if he's supposed to be the next Thanos, then he has a very interesting introduction. Because Thanos, it was like in the shadows, cut scene here, I'm on the way, my ship just pulled up. Whereas with him, it's like
Here he is and everything you need to know about.
yeah, directly involved. Kill me now. There's gonna be
Well-
more of me coming. Do you think that like we're just gonna deal with mad Kangs up until the final Kang? Do you think Kang is gonna send Kangs to fight?
I think there are going to be at least one or two before we
'Cause, like,
see
then-
the real Kang the Conqueror.
Because then the one in like Quantum Mania, you know what I'm saying? Is that supposed to be the Conqueror? Is that going to be another variant? And then how long it? Because the thing is, it's really cool, but at some point you're like, okay, guys, like how many Kangs are you going to show me before?
it's gonna
like, we're
yeah,
done
it's
with
gonna
them?
lose its luster.
Yeah. So
Well, I don't think it will. I
If they
think
do it,
if
it
you
might.
go back and watch MCU like Thanos, all of his scenes, they're imposing, and he comes off as like a big bad. But like obviously, we never know until Infinity War that he's like the fucking boss. You know what I mean? Like he could fuck up everybody in the Avengers, and like doesn't even need the Infinity Gauntlet to beat the Hulk. Like the guy's a fucking champion. Like, and they do a good job of making him seem scary, but you never really quite know the odds. I think they're trying to set up just how fucking crazy this shit's about to get, and that it's gonna be worse than Thanos. Like functionally, like what could happen, and what the negative repercussions of it could be. Like it's gonna be nuts, and I don't think there's gonna be like fucking 5 or 6, but like yeah, maybe one or
Nathan's here.
two. Huh?
Nathan's. in
Yeah,
it.
he's been here. I said hey to him.
Oh, I'm sorry.
who's it?
My buddy
Congrats,
Nathan.
He's like one of the oldest.
Hey, Chris.
like
Yeah.
members.
What?
What do you want for that Cade statue?
Huh? He said, "What do you want for it?"
We'll talk. A kiss on the lips
Yeah, man, that's
from Gunner.
Impressive.
Look at that face. Look at that John Hamm. I'll never get to say I got to kiss John Hamm.
Those kissable lips.
Now you can have it. I got it when I got Destiny. Here, hold on, I'll hand it to you. It's cool. It's got like good weight to it and everything.
You don't understand
love
how
you.
don't understand how much this means to Gunner.
It means a lot. I love Destiny. Oh, that is so cool.
It's like made well. Like you can feel it. It's like the little platform's kind of shitty, but you can make that little shape and make it out
I'll
of
tell you,
anything.
if this meant anything to me, I'd be losing my shit right now.
It's cool. Yeah, I honestly I
It's
only kept
Nathan
it because
Fillion's
it's Nathan
acting.
Fillion and
oh,
it looks
sick.
dank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was
What's
telling
his
me about
last
that.
What's
He
his last line again?
How's your sister?
Yeah, fucking a guy kills his character in like a DLC, and it's like tragic because everyone loves him. He's the most likable character in Destiny by a fucking mile. Like no one, I don't know anyone else's name.
Well,
I don't.
What's the context to How's Your Sister?
So he's about to get killed, and the guy says, "Do you have any last words?" He says, "How's your sister?" And then he kills him,
His
and that's his.
sister's
That's how he
like
dies.
The queen of the Awoken. She's like a big main character,
Yeah,
and she's hot.
Oh, nice.
and like, he's the comedic relief and
Yeah.
everything. He's just fucking awesome. He's always funny. He's basically Castle the badass.
I wish
Okay.
you,
Like
you
from
should pull
Firefly.
up the cutscene at one point. I'll show it to you one day.
Okay.
It's a good cutscene, and he's very well animated, the character, because he's a
Yeah.
robot. So they do a very good like Ultron-y job of having everything move that doesn't need to be moving.
Oh yeah, back to
And-
your
and
point. I'm
looking
pretty
good.
sure we've covered it on the podcast before, but yeah, no, I don't think Miss Minutes is Ultron, but
That was a little outlandish.
but
of me.
Ultron is.
To
I've always
assume.
believed since the movie came out that Ultron is definitely still alive somewhere, and he's doing the long con.
I need to go rewatch that one because I have like
Well, and
People
with
have-
multiverse, it
people have
kind of
shat-
doesn't matter if he was long conning because he'll just one will come by
People
at some
have
point.
shat all over that movie, The Age of Ultron. Say it's the worst Avengers movie. I love that.
I love that movie.
with a fiery passion.
If I'm keeping it real, I've gone back and watched like the bad ones. Even Dark World,
Dark World's not a bad movie.
Yeah,
it's
he loves
not.
Dark World.
Yeah, it's like it's definitely
People-
it's
the
definitely
first
one of the
Thor is
worst.
Dog shit.
Really?
didn't
I like the
any of
first
them.
one.
The first Thor.
I didn't
Nothing
really
but
like,
Dutch angles.
I didn't like any of the Thors to be honest with you. Like, I
Every
like
fucking
Ragnarok,
Every
but
Ragnarok's designed to be like though. That one's like saying you like Thor Ragnarok is like everybody likes Thor.
Yeah, it's
Ragnarok.
great.
It's like people saying they like Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
Great movie.
Haven't seen that.
You'll like it one day.
Nah, I'm not gonna watch it.
Oh my god.
you gotta see
Anyway,
Forrest Gump.
Yeah, I've said this like 4
Yeah, I
times.
know. That's
Yeah,
Damn.
and I won't watch it
rather
It's-
famously.
It's a really
like you
good
just
movie.
you won't. Like why do you say you won't?
because I'm not going to.
I mean, I get that, but like, what is the won't? Like, I get that you probably won't, but like,
Chris, stop doing your Chris thing. He doesn't
it's
want to watch
listen.
it.
It's just like one day. Like, here's the thing. I see a future where like we're all super duper famous, and all we do is hang out because we're super duper famous, and like we can't hang out with normal people, and like we're all such good friends. Like, there are things he hasn't seen that he would. The way he references the things that he has seen, like shit, like in Forrest Gump, is like epiphanally such important shit to witness at some point because the references that can be made off of that character's interpretation of life are amazing. And that's the kind of shit that he eats in his conversations. He loves that
It's one
shit.
of the only movies that I'll watch, like, start to finish, like, if it's on.
Yeah, like
TV.
just it's such
So
a
I'm like, oh, there's
it's
Forrest
one of the
Gump.
most
That's
rewatchable movies of all time.
So good.
And it's just one of the best movies ever.
It is. Really, really
It's like Shawshank Redemption. In a lot of ways in terms of it's just one of the
Saving Private
best.
Ryan.
It's got way
too.
more rewatchability than Shawshank.
Yeah, well, I
We've
don't
seen
know.
Shawshank 95 times because we just like that kind of shit. But
Yeah.
like, there's like prison rape in Shawshank.
Yeah, Shawshank's rough.
Yeah, so like there's not like a
I've only
whole.
seen it once.
If you don't like appreciate the amazingness of the movie,
Best twist of any movie ever, though. Or not twist, but like best like
Ending.
reveal.
reveal. Reveal's better. Best reveal ending, I think, for me ever. It sets up for me. That is
Usual
like
Suspects.
That and The Departed.
usual. Just and the well, I was gonna say both of those get everything from
Star Wars
Shawshank.
Episode 9.
There's about to be an Allium-shaped hole in one of these walls.
It's just Afro.
Yeah, the afro
like-
has so
it
much
just-
force. You're going so fast that the afro, every hair.
It just
fucking
looks like a
goes through.
Bugs Bunny microphone.
Have you ever seen those? Like, have you ever seen like it'll be like one of those fucking like long leafy blades of grass that like they're like this tall. I don't know what they're called, but it's like a giant blade of grass that like goes through a telephone pole because it was going so fast and like in a hurricane or something.
Yeah, I've
No,
seen it.
that's insane.
It's
it's
really,
nuts.
really cool pictures.
Like it's essentially a big like blade of grass that is even
Moving
though
at
it's big
such
is
speed.
functionally just a blade of grass. Like feel wise, like density, like it's leafy. It's like a fucking leaf, and it just goes right through a fucking telephone pole because of how fast it was going.
Let you know a lot about physics, and
Yep.
a lot of people have died very pathetically in hurricanes.
It's one of my favorite
Yeah.
Ron White jokes.
Fucking
Where he
Bulbasaur.
goes, like, you know,
together.
there's
Let's say sadly, maybe not pathetically. It's kind of fucked.
No, for sure. How would you feel if you fucking
Nah,
died to
for
a
real,
Pokemon
yeah, yeah.
Move?
If I knew,
razor leaf.
Yeah, I'd be
if I
pissed
knew
the
I was
fuck
dying to
off.
bubble, I think I'd just kill myself.
That was bad.
If I saw a bubble coming at me and knew it was gonna kill me, and I had a gun, I'm like, no.
It's one of those great Ron White jokes you're talking about. There's a man in Florida he's 60 years old, and he tied himself to a tree during a Category 5 hurricane to prove that through his physical ability and his physical health at 60 years old, he could withstand the winds of a hurricane. It's not that the wind is blowing. It's what the wind is blowing. He goes, if you got a stop sign in your spleen, sit-ups don't come into play.
It don't matter how healthy you are. Dude, he's so good.
Yeah, but where we were going, we had a main line.
He should watch Forrest Gump.
No, that's not what it was.
Waste your time, buddy. Waste your time.
I guess
Literally,
I
I
understand.
have enough room for 30 more movies in my life.
You seen Saving Private Ryan?
Nope, not watching
Jesus.
these.
I haven't seen Saving Private
I saw
Ryan.
when he shot
What?
shot down the barrel of that tank, which is a completely bullshit scene. You watch
What?
the movie?
No, he shoots another sniper through the scope.
So what's the movie when the nigga's shooting at the tank? He's like walking
Iron
down
Man.
the tank.
Wait, what? Hold on, huh?
He's got a pistol and he's shooting at it?
Yeah.
That's Saving Private
So,
Ryan.
but he's not like
He
it
gets
doesn't do anything.
airstriked.
Yeah,
He's
he's shooting
shooting
at
the
it because he's
tank.
dying, and all he has is his pistol, and all he can see is the tank, and it's like a last moment of like,
He's
there's nothing
shooting.
else I can do. So he's like very like lazily, like he's
Yeah.
gut shot, and he's just shooting at the tank, and then he shoots it one last time, and it explodes. He's like, and it's because an airstrike came in and saved him.
Yeah, only scene of that movie. I've
It's a
seen.
great movie. Like that movie's also very like, God, that's a good movie.
Rewatchable.
I mean, not to me.
Highly quotable.
I don't.
to the,
I don't like rewatching
It's
it.
got
I like
Vin
rewatching.
Diesel in it.
Yeah, and they kill
What?
him off early because they're supposed to.
Yeah, I don't want to watch that. At
Yeah,
all.
it's fucking. He's garbage. His character.
Nah, he gets killed. Like,
His character's actually like when you go back and watch like for the story of what's happening, his character's actually like a really good dude and a really good person for what's happening. But it's just he dies so fucking
I'm gonna
stupid.
keep it 100% with you guys. Vin Diesel's been good in two things.
Xander Cage,
Triple X.
Triple X,
Oh, Riddick.
Riddick.
He's
That's
good.
what I
He's
meant.
good in the very first. It's Pitch Black is the first one,
Yeah.
and he's good in the first
Fast 9.
Fast and the Furious. Those
He's
are
good
the,
in the fifth one too.
I haven't seen it.
I only like the first 3 and the fifth one. Matt, watch
he's
the
not
new
good
one.
in it.
I like the fifth one. He's good in the
I'm
fifth
not
one.
saying it's not.
Family man.
I'm not
Listen,
saying-
I haven't
family.
seen any of them past 5.
I'm not saying it's not an enjoyable movie, but he's not like doing any great shit in it. He's good in the first one because it's a new character. He's bringing real life to it. It's like you believe what he's saying. It's not like played the fuck out, and it's not fucking space heist. It's motherfuckers like robbing
You know
tractor
the
trailers.
you know the meme where like they flip a little domino and it goes to a big giant one.
Yeah.
Like you start off with a little tiny domino and they get bigger and bigger and then there's one like the size of a refrigerator. You ever seen that meme?
No.
Well, the meme originally is about physics. Like a little tiny domino this big in less than like 6 steps could be knocking over a fridge with its force because it is just big enough to hit one that's like 5 times bigger than it, and that one 5 times bigger, 5, 5, 5, and like so you get from like a legit normal sized domino to a fridge in like 3 seconds, and it's just dun, 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 dun. And it's like that little tiny amount of force could cause that, and it's amazing. And so people do like in the very beginning, like Captain America stops a guy in a submarine underwater. Flick. Thanos wipes out half of all life. Is like the big one. So like in the there's a really good one with the Fast and
That
Furious where it
is
like
a-
starts off and it's like street racing, saving the world from thermonuclear devastation and going to space in a fucking hot rod. Like it's just ridiculous.
That's
They
a
go to
great
space?
scene in the newest one. Yeah, that's a great scene in the first Captain America
Oh.
when he dives into the ocean and rips a man out of a submarine.
Upon rewatching, like for all the things that his character can do, that's the only one that's like still bullshit. He shouldn't be able to do that because he catches a fucking submarine and it's like going. Like he fucking
Literally swimming.
dolphin swims up to that shit. It's
sense.
stupid. Huh?
Makes sense.
It would make sense if he was doing the dolphin fucking leg thing, but his feet are literally legs straight and his feet are like,
He's Captain America.
I guess.
Why does it make sense?
Well, 'cause he was literally injected with the super soldier serum
No, for sure.
45 seconds ago.
And which makes him a peak human. You think a
It's
peak,
not just a peak human; he's a superhuman.
the
Sure. Okay. Sure. You
Super
know what?
Soldier Serum
This is
is-
going to be a dumb argument between all of us because you and me are going to be on this side of it, and he's going to be on that side. And there's nothing logically that makes sense because it's a fictional situation, and we're fighting it
No,
logically.
you're saying that like because like the submarine was going and he catches the submarine, like swims fast enough to catch the
And
submarine.
one punch is through the water into the glass. One punch breaks it underwater. It's ridiculous. You and me are on the same side. He's not going to budge.
You remember when he ran 60 miles
He's
an hour?
you
in
with
Civil-
Forrest Gump right
You
now.
remember when he ran 60 miles an hour in Civil War? You remember that? He's out.
It's like,
He's
like
outpacing
25
cars.
miles.
He's running faster
Oh,
than
in Civil
cars.
War. I always think when Fast, him and Black Panther getting ahead of everyone in Wakanda, my favorite moment in the MCU. Top 2 or 3. But yeah, no, I forgot about that. They're straight up, those guys are just fucking booking it, huh? Him.
And they're running past cars that are watching a bunch of shit blow up. So it's not like they're just going to work. It's like cars like, oh
Freaking
shit,
out.
I'm in a tunnel explosion.
That's such a well shot scene.
It's beautiful. Have you ever watched the breakdown on how they did it?
They're on wires, right? They're pulling them, like, and they're kind of like fly running,
There's a mat on the ground that is kind of like a
like the airport.
kind of a treadmill,
Yeah.
but it's being dragged by a car at the same time, and they're literally running on it.
Oh my god.
They're running on it behind a car to simulate like sheer, like just incredible speed. There's a great breakdown on YouTube you can watch. It's really, really interesting.
That's fucking sick. I haven't seen that. I need
Yeah,
to
I
watch
don't
that.
think that nigga's swimming after a submarine.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I
I'm
do.
still with this
It's
situation.
badass.
I just rewatched that movie, and that's like the only like super silly scene like that, because that movie doesn't just hold up. That movie is one of the best ones to me.
The Captain America movies are like
The best
outright-
trilogy for sure.
They're outright like top tier MCU movies because they're like those movies function so well between like comic book and fantasy expectations and the basic things that people like about 007 and shit like that. It's the perfect middle.
spy noir, like
Yeah.
mystery.
The second one specifically,
Yeah,
Talking about
yeah.
Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier. Yeah.
Him and Black Widow going to those facilities and shit like that.
Like
Just the espionage and the like Jason Bourne level. Get like, here, put this hat on, make out with me real
It's
quick.
so funny
Yeah.
you say that because I literally was trying to word it in a better way, but I was gonna say like when they put the hat on. Like,
Yeah.
everything
Yeah.
about that is so like spy movie.
and funny enough, me and Faith watched the first 4 Jason Bournes 2 days ago. All
You
They're
of
so
did
them.
say you were
good.
gonna watch that.
Yeah.
wait, the first, so not the
No, no.
last one.
We haven't watched the one Jason Bourne, and we skipped Legacy because I don't give a shit about Legacy.
It's so good. It really
Chris,
is.
it's got the word Bourne and Jason Bourne's not in the movie.
He is in the movie.
Yeah, okay, Chris.
He is. He's in the movie.
Yeah, he's in it. He's like the bad guy.
Nah,
almost.
just stare him down.
No, he's not the bad guy. He's the other. Jeremy Renner is another part of the project. He's
know.
another person.
Well, I'm aware, but
It's
Oh,
a great.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
to- it's
Jeremy
my
Renner-
favorite. It's the
a
best.
Jeremy Renner movie.
Yeah.
It's not a Jason Bourne.
It's
movie.
still fucking amazing.
Yeah,
It's a
I've seen
really
it.
good movie.
You're
been a
very
long
lucky you're
time.
outside of my realm of film knowledge because what you're saying is complete bullshit. But I don't know enough about these movies to contend with you. I just know that's bullshit.
Anyway,
I'm not gonna watch Born Legacy.
Loki is the only thing finally has broke me from Winter Soldier being my favorite thing in the MCU. Loki's my favorite thing now. Loki's so good. But Winter Soldier was my favorite of all the films.
Yeah, I'm not gonna hold y'all boys. To this day, it's Infinity War, man.
Really?
Yeah, that shit had me.
It's
by
so
the fucking
good.
Dick sauce, man.
Yeah, for me it's when Infinity War and Endgame each respectively came out.
I love hearing people's opinion on this.
Dude,
'Cause
when I-
mine's always the first Iron Man. It's my favorite
Really?
MCU movie, yeah. But,
Well, so
but
for
I
me,
completely understand.
okay, let me
every
rephrase. I'm saying this wrong again. I do this all the time. I don't think it's not my favorite. I think Winter Soldier's the best film.
Yeah.
Like that is a movie, like what
I
a movie
argue Iron
does.
Man.
And then for best?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's my favorite, and I think it's the best. in
I
my
think it's
opinion.
definitely like for me it's definitely top 5 for like
It's a
considering. Yeah, it's definitely a contender. And then Infinity War's probably
But
if
you
there's
say
one that
Infinity
is
War.
if there's one that's a better movie than Winter Soldier, it is Infinity War. It's those two for me that are definitely neck and neck. For me, Winter Soldier takes it because
You don't need as many pieces. Too.
you don't need as many pieces. Infinity War has
if-
so much to
Infinity
deal with.
War minus 17 movies before it still hits really hard, but it starts to hit like as just boom in your face action superhero movie.
And Winter
It's
Soldier
a visual spectacle.
Yeah,
you
and Winter
lose-
Soldier is its own thing. Did Michael like Iron Man 3? Because I low-key think that shit is underrated. I do too. I like Iron Man 3.
What happened in that one again?
I have.
That's when that's when he loses his suits and the little kid
I've
helps
got
him
very
and he has to like
I
go
got serious.
the
issues
Mandarin,
with
the
it.
shitty Mandarin.
I've got serious issues with it. I don't
Mandarin,
hate it.
shitty Mandarin.
Well, that's a very serious issue. Like, they have the Mandarin, who in the comic is like the Order of the Ten Rings. They set up the Ten Rings in the first Iron Man movie. I don't know if you guys remember that. Like, the terrorist organization that kidnaps Tony Stark
Yeah.
is the Ten Rings. So they set up that from the jump, and then they just throw it away by the third movie. Like, they throw away a legitimately sick villain with a fucking character actor that's drunk and on drugs. And that pissed me off a lot. Then you have Aldrich Killian, who is like Iron Man, the fire guy.
Yeah.
He's
The Mandarin.
yeah. He's like, at this point, Iron Man has fought like considerably more like forceful foes, and he's getting his shit. Like he's in a legitimate fight, like that's going both ways, and he has his entire fleet of Iron Man armor, and it's still a fight. Like that pissed me off. Like the power scale of it was just strange to me.
Well, I mean, these are like superhuman.
I'm-
All of them are superhuman, like Human Torch level fucking
they're not human
bad guy.
torch level.
Well, I mean, in terms of like they can't get shot. They can't just get killed. They have to like be fucking put the fuck down to die. Like they have to blow up. Like they have to legit get destroyed for them to die. You can't just shoot them.
For
You
sure.
can't just
I'm
stab
not,
them.
I'm not saying it's a complete shot in the dark.
And they're
shit,
not all
like-
being run by Tony. Like he's in one of those suits at a time. The rest are just
Yeah, but
Jarvis
it's-
trying his best.
Yeah, but it's Tony's. It's Jarvis. Like we can't just write it away. It's Jarvis trying his best. It's Jarvis
I mean, it is Jarvis. Yeah. Look, I get it. You got to remember, they're movies.
Yeah.
There needs to be a bad guy.
for sure. I'm not. No, I'm
And
just
it was
telling
the
you.
first movie after Avengers. And
Yeah.
like that was like the first movie where everyone was like, "Where the fuck are the rest of the Avengers?"
Yeah, you literally see Iron Man pull a Jonah and the whale on one of the giant Chitauri creatures in the movie prior to it, and then the next movie, his entire fleet of armor is getting beat by these fire dudes.
No, so many of them survive.
Yeah, sure. But that's,
And he
it's-
destroys them
My
all in the
point
end.
is, it's more of a fight than it needed to be. I think they could have like at least beefed up the guy's abilities, like make him like somewhat more Human Torchish, make him be able
Yeah.
to like raise into the air on nothing but pure like fucking heat energy, and it's melting shit around him because he's burning so hot.
I think the problem is that was an Edgar Wright movie, and he made it like an Edgar Wright movie.
And I like Edgar Wright.
I do too, but he shouldn't be making Marvel movies because they're not. It's a little too artsy. He spent way too much time in the town with Tony. Tony spent way too much time in that town with the kid. The kid's cool, great character. They did a good job
Oh,
with
yeah,
all that.
Probably like the highlight of the movie is the interactions between Tony and the kid.
You know how I
Who's
know?
canonically?
Because we're connected.
Peter, right?
No,
That's
not that
bullshit.
kid. That's not Peter. Peter's the little kid
What the-
in
Iron Man 2.
Iron Man 2 that like has the helmet.
This is the kid that he's like standing
Talking
alone at Tony's funeral.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah,
kid.
that is that guy. They did really good with that.
Brilliant.
Quentin had to tell me that was him. I was
Really?
like, "Who the fuck is that kid?" And he was like, "That's the Iron Man 2." I was
Dude,
like,
I knew it, but like barely
Iron Man 3.
faintly in the back of my mind. Like I like barely. I was like, that's the kid. That's
know
the
it's-
fucking kid.
I had zero fucking understanding.
Yeah, like
I had
barely,
no
like,
idea.
Like, who the
Literally,
fuck is this?
Yeah.
Why is he at Tony's
I
funeral?
started looking and I said, all right, not a superhero, not you. Where have you been? Who the fuck? He's kind of the little kid. Okay, cool.
You know, Iron Man 3.
I like
Zero
struggled to
recollection.
get there.
He was
though.
the only
There
one.
are
that I had
there
no
are
idea.
some great lines. It's the funniest Iron Man movie.
Yeah.
But there are some great lines in it, such as like when he's got him tied up and he takes the watch and he throws it down. He says, "Oh, see, you messed up because that wasn't mine. That was my friend's sister's." It's like the little Hello Kitty watch. He just throws it on the ground, stomps on it. See, now you messed up. That was not mine. Because the lines.
That movie is so good. It is so much better than people give it credit for.
Well, a lot of the people only shit on the like bad MCU movies because the rest of them are so fucking good.
Yeah.
Like there's such high stakes and all this stuff. So when you have this one that has like two villains, one of them isn't a real villain, and the other one
Hammer
doesn't do
was an
anything
underrated character. That's a character who was awesome in Iron Man 2.
Yeah.
Even
Justin Hammer,
Whiplash, yeah, Justin Hammer. And even Whiplash was supposed, so that's another like fan four stick, like the bad Fantastic Four movie where apparently there's a really good version of that movie on the cutting room floor somewhere, but all the like executives came in and made it shitty.
I don't have a qualm with that movie. I liked Iron Man 2.
I liked it too.
Oh, okay. I thought you
I
were about
love
to say
Whi-
Fantastic
No,
Four.
I love
Badass when he gets out on the
Well,
No,
I
no,
mean,
no, the
Whiplash
formula-
though.
the
Whiplash
yeah,
just
Whiplash.
his character sucks in that movie.
I don't think
Like
so.
no, the acting is great. What we see is great. But again, what I'm saying, let me finish my thing.
Yeah.
There's a really good version of that shitty Fantastic Four movie that got made somewhere. All the actors swear by it. Michael B. Jordan, Miles Teller, Kate Mara. Apparently, the Doctor Doom is like Heath Ledger, like Shakespearean level amazing somewhere in the editing bay.
Cutting room floor.
Yeah, there's an amazing Doctor Doom. There's an amazing Fantastic Four film out there that just didn't get made because people came in and fucked it up. Apparently, it's amazing. The acting, everything. Apparently, it's fucking flawless.
Iron Man 2.
Like that scene in the trailer where Thing jumps out of the plane isn't in the movie.
Yeah.
Where he just silently jumps out, like, and that's somewhere. And that scene looked badass. Like, there's some great shit. But same shit happened with Whiplash, apparently. What's his name?
Mickey Rourke.
Mickey Rourke. Mickey Rourke was fucking pissed because he said he put a lot into that. He loved his character in
And
that
it
movie.
played. I loved him too.
Yeah, well, yeah, but he means like it's a man of
I
no
dis-
words is
I
what we
believe-
got, and his character
I
has
don't-
some
I-
fucking like
I disagree wholeheartedly.
about what?
He's not a man of little words. He says plenty. He says just enough. I think he's not braggadocious, and he's also like speaking a second languages. And
Well, he
I
also
think he's done absolutely perfectly.
perfectly.
I loved it. I'm not joking when and it's like a polarizing opinion. A lot of people talk shit all over that movie.
I still love his character, what we saw, but there is, by his definition, by Robert Downey Jr., by everybody, they're all like, they fucked this shit up. There's a great Whiplash character out like that didn't get shown, like a much better, like a fucking
I don't
like
know, man.
top
They-
tier MCU
well,
bad guy
they
like
show you-
performance.
They give you motivation, and the performance still carries through. I think Mickey Rourke's
Whether you
performance
like
is
him or
amazing.
not, no one likes him. And there's a version of him that everyone would have loved, is what people say. There's a version of him that is like I know we all use a comparison, like a Heath Ledger fucking baller bad guy, like just incredible fucking performance that didn't end up getting shown because he gets sidebarred by Justin Hammer, he gets sidebarred by fucking Tony and Rhodey's like kind of big like brotherly bickering of the movie.
That's my biggest complaint in the second movie. My biggest complaint is that they kind of buried not the Mickey Rourke part, the Iron Man part, because that movie's supposed to be a fucking what's it called? Lost in a Bottle storyline. There's a storyline about Tony Stark's alcoholism and how he gets like super overboard alcoholic.
Yes.
And that's a lot of what got cut out of that movie when they kind of touch on it in that part.
Well, that's what the third one was for. That's what the third one's so much about, and that's why he's so weak and so destroyed is because he's like handling.
He doesn't have an alcoholism.
Well, yes,
he's
no,
not
I mean
recovering.
they're
He's-
doing the PTSD, but
Yeah.
like that's their way of doing it because again, these are Disney movies. They're all going to be watched by kids. They have to do it in a way that's a little less like traumatizing. And dealing with heavy drinking and drug use in one of those movies and if they do it by the comics, is going to be way darker,
Yeah.
like too dark for an MCU movie
But that was my like,
at the time.
I really liked. My point is, I don't think that movie.
I like all
deserves
three
half
Iron Mans.
the guff it it got.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people hated Justin Hammer.
That Formula
He's
One,
always-
that Formula One, the scene on the Formula One track where he just
He's so
straight up
good.
cuts one in half first.
It's so good. It's fantastic. I love that scene
Sam
too.
Rockwell was great.
Sam Rockwell's great. He's
Yeah.
one of those characters that really should come back because he's a really good actor, and he was a really good villain.
Let me ask you, Anthony.
Bro, we calls him Anthony.
Doesn't
It's
call
so
him anything
good.
But Anthony. Elon Musk is in that movie.
Yeah, he plays himself,
Yep.
which was very silly. I saw him. I went back and rewatched the scene. I was like, it's so bad. He did such a bad job. He's not an actor.
What about you, Gunnar? What's your favorite, favorite or best MCU movie in your
I've
opinion?
already told you it's Iron. It's the first Iron.
The first Iron Man.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's awesome.
Hell yeah, it really is. I just love Jon Favreau projects.
I do too. He's
Anything
really
that
good.
man touches, he really has just been saving movies for like 20
And franchises.
Years. Yeah.
Star Wars is coming back because of him.
Star Wars was so
Lost.
so fucked. Oh man,
It was so bad.
fucked.
It still kind of is, honestly.
I can't believe Episode 9 fucking happened.
I can't believe the whole. I'm so. You guys fucked me. I hate all 3 sequel movies now. I fucking hate them. I can't stand any of them.
No, they're
Episode 8 is the good one to me now.
Well,
Episode
that's a-
8's the
that's a
only
hard
good
step.
one.
7's the good one to me. If
Seven-
you're gonna break them down.
7 is good, but like your thing about Finn has fucked me royally. I
Yeah.
hate him. I hate his character. Like I hate the character, like what he's represents and what he's supposed to be. But I hate what they did with
Well,
him
you
now.
only hate what they did with him because like you know everything else that happens. Like you know, yeah, he's killing all these stormtroopers. They made a bunch of mistakes, but I really liked how John Boyega portrayed him for the most part. I loved how Oscar Isaac portrayed Poe in the first one. I thought Daisy Ridley was great as Rey. It's the everything happening around them that fucks them up.
Yeah, the writing was horrible.
Yeah, no, it's just like
Dude, if you
Yeah, there are great things. Kylo, yeah. I'm sorry. Go
No,
ahead.
no, no.
You
I wasn't
first,
even-
you
no. I wasn't even. I was just so disappointed in talking about Star
Oh.
Wars. That's what that was. I wasn't like you coming. I was like, fuck, I gotta talk about this.
The
again.
thing is, all 3 movies have amazing moments.
Yeah, the ninth one the least though.
Yeah, I think 7 has
ninth-
the best moments. Han Solo and Kylo on the bridge is one of the best moments in Star Wars the franchise.
It's pretty dank.
It's fucking amazing.
It's pretty dank.
Chewie shooting him
Yeah, Chewbacca's response to that scene.
is fucking.
And then like the idea of Kylo being powerful enough to like hold his own after being shot with a bowcaster.
Yeah,
'Cause bowcasters are not a fucking joke.
not at all. Like in
You know, Han
every
said
facet of Star
20
Wars.
minutes ago, Han
Yeah.
said, "I gotta get me one of these."
Yeah.
things."
Yeah, that should have like put a fucking hole in you.
And then his scene in Episode 9,
Which one?
Hans, when he comes back for a second.
Oh yeah.
Like even
Bro,
though
the
it's kind of
opening
out of
sequence.
place, it feels a little out of place. It's still
There isn't
like
a cooler
sentimentally an unbelievable
There
moment.
isn't a cooler sequence in the first 5 minutes of the first one. Where he stops a fucking laser blast.
Yeah, no,
in
the opening,
mid-air.
the opening of that movie is amazing.
It's
It's
the-
just when he starts
it's one of my
screaming
fav-
"woo" of killing his
Yeah,
brothers in
yeah.
arms that pissed me off and has taken me out of it
The first
completely.
6 minutes of that are like some of the coolest pieces of Star Wars that's ever been made because you get like a scope of like real power. You see like fucking confusion within clones. You get all this crazy or stormtroopers rather. You see all this shit going on.
Man, you take Episode 7. You give Boyega's character. You give Finn a little bit more like gripe.
Depth.
Yeah, just a pinch. Just make him feel bad about what he's doing because he was raised. As
There
a
needs to
stormtrooper.
be conflict with him. He shouldn't be doing it
Yeah, he needs
so
to be
easily
conflicted.
and also immediately just trying to escape and not be part of anything. Because he doesn't just want to isn't just okay with killing clones, and he's also not wanting to join the side that does it. He's having way too good a time killing his brothers, and then immediately wanting to get out of the situation. And
that could also the one thing that we overlook is that could just be a testament to like the stormtrooper facilities. Like maybe they're. I mean, I doubt they're raised like to like, yo, you're my dog, man. I love you to death. I got your back. I doubt that's
But
part of the documentation.
They show you in a
you
bunch
don't
of
watch a
other
lot of in all the animated shit. They're boys.
Well, not just
even
the
even
animated
Stormtroopers?
yes, even the stormtroopers.
Not even
so
just
in
the
in
animated
Rebels
shit.
they do that a lot.
When you can go back to Mandalorian, you can see that like, there's compatriot. They show the like
Compassion towards
they
each
show
other.
compassion.
They're
They,
like friends.
Within the Empire, there's a bunch of people just fighting. It's like almost kind of World War II vibes. It's like we're in the shit.
Yeah.
We're brothers and we're going through the shit together.
Yeah,
you,
especially in like for the clones because they're
Yeah.
like legitimately brothers.
Yeah.
Like, biologically.
You give them a little bit more depth, and then Episode 8, you take out that bullshit sequence like Boyega and Tran, however you say your last name. Like their acting was really cool, but like all that sequence was unnecessary. And
You talking about
could've been-
8?
Huh?
You talking about the 8th movie?
Yeah, yeah,
The Asian woman.
yeah. Tran.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
Last name's Tran.
Yeah, yeah.
The
Rose. Fuck.
Yeah,
that was
Rose.
gonna kill me.
Rose
oh,
and
yeah, it was
Finn.
Rose.
The acting is done really good, and I like the subterfuge of their interaction with that smuggly guy. I like all that because it gives you like
I hate that he didn't come back.
Benicio, yeah.
yeah, it
He's
shows
amazing.
you like the downsides of war and like this is just at the end of the day who's right or wrong. But it's just like that could have been lent to like more canon building and better explanation. I think I've always thought that like Luke's character was a little too miserable, but I wholeheartedly believe that like by the time you're like 60, after you're responsible for millions of deaths, after you've like,
We don't even know what the fuck happens with Grogu yet.
yeah, exactly. Like,
Like,
Grogu's not
what the
there.
fuck happened with him? Like,
Exactly.
what's happening?
They might even like have like Grogu, like something so bad happen and Grogu. It explains why he's so grisly and whatnot. But my point is like it makes sense for him to be like a more bitter old man. Like you can't just expect him to be all like happy and cheerful. The big problem with Episode 8 is that they just don't commit to what they set up in Episode 9. Because if in Episode 8 you let Kylo do what he does, kill Snoke, that shit was badass. I don't like that Snoke gets played out, but the fact that he had the balls to kill his master. Like Vader, it took the last movie for Vader to throw Sidious down the hole. And the second appearance of Kylo Ren, he takes out Snoke. If they would have just let him go into Episode 9 as the bad guy, there did need to be a Palpatine. You didn't need to reroute Palpatine into Rey's genetics. You know what I'm saying? And you let Kylo
God, that shit was stupid.
But if you let Kylo finish those movies as the penultimate Sith Lord and let him and Ren,
That shit hurts
Not
when I
Ren.
think about it.
Rey, him and Rey have like an actual fight at the end and like let her actually kill him. You know what I'm saying? You wind up with a villain that winds up being better than Darth Vader, a villain that committed, a villain that didn't fall back to the light at the last
They're
second.
not just like a symbol of evil. There's like real confliction, and like, you believe both sides of it, and you see why he's doing the things he's doing.
Yeah, man. That thing is like underneath
Such a drop ball.
underneath all the dog shit of those movies, you had something that was at least decent enough to continue Star Wars.
Yes.
But then the minute she pulled that fucking dagger out her pocket and lines it up with the fucking wrecked ship, I was like, this is absolutely...
Fuck the dagger. Fuck all that shit. When Palpatine shows up in the first few minutes of the last film in the Star Wars franchise, and he hasn't been there for 2 movies, and they haven't even fucking mentioned him yet,
And then have the nerve to
I
use...
was done with that movie before Chewie dies.
Dude. And then the fact that they had the nerve to use the opening crawl.
Oh, you stole it from me. I swear to God, my biggest gripe with that movie is that every single movie...
What does it say in the?
I'll tell you.
Okay.
Every
Distress
Star Wars
signal.
every Star Wars movie has the penultimate perfect exposition at the beginning with the opening crawl. Not a fucking person on screen. It's text and amazing music rolling up, telling you literally everything you need to know that has happened between movies. Everything. Then this one starts up. There's a strange signal coming from deep space, and Palpatine is still alive.
That's fucking stupid.
It's a
And then they-
2-sentence crawl.
Then they...
Wait, is that it? Is it like shorter than the rest?
Yes.
Oh, that's whack.
I don't remember that, but that is fucking
don't
whack.
remember that
I'm literally
either.
pulling up Disney
You can
Plus.
watch it in 6 seconds, Chris. It's a 6-second crawl.
I have to see this. I'm upset all of a sudden, more than I was already.
No, it's one of the most bitch slappingest in the
Then
face.
everything's
Fuck
just...
J.J. Abrams and his fucking lens flaring pussy ass. Get you fucking Trekkie ass bitch boy making a piece of shit Star Wars movie. 2 of them.
Man.
I need to start watching Bad Batch now.
I've been watching that shit. It's so good.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
hold on.
been
Let me see
gotten a
this.
whole lot better.
Yeah, I'm not going to hold y'all.
I don't really have any drive to watch that.
It's so good.
This is too
I
much.
love how they're like showing the clone troopers like assimilate to the Empire.
Yeah.
And
It's-
it's like the
They're doing a really
stormtroopers
good
are
job of
coming
showing
in.
that like there are more than just the Bad Batch that are like having qualms about this. The dead speak. The galaxy has heard a mysterious broadcast. A threat of revenge in the sinister voice of the late Emperor Palpatine. General Leia Organa dispatches secret agents to... I used to remember these being hard to read. Now it's like they're too slow. Agents to gather... No, this is like fucking paragraphs. There's a lot.
It's over.
There's 2 so far.
It's
is it?
over.
No, look, another one.
Oh, okay.
That's
Yeah,
3 so far. 3 paragraphs.
yeah, I'm not going.
Meanwhile, Supreme Leader
Hold on.
Kylo Ren rages in search of the Phantom
20
Emperor,
seconds.
determined to destroy any threat to his power. ... Now it's over. 3 paragraphs. That is kind of short. I feel like.
Not as it's short, but they also don't say shit.
Yeah,
not
it's
telling-
fucking whack.
They're not telling you anything that has anything to do with the 2 movies before it. They're telling you what this movie has to do with. That's what the fuck do I give a fuck about some deep space signal and Kylo Ren being... I already know Kylo Ren's a cunt. I know! Why are you telling me what the fucking greatest piece of exposition that's ever existed? It's literally like the chorus in the beginning of Romeo and Juliet level of
Yes.
exposition, and they're
Every Star Wars has a soliloquy that starts it off.
taking a shit on it. J.J. Abrams fucked up Star Wars so bad that I have to viscerally hate one of the greatest and most beloved franchises that's ever existed. I have to hate it.
And hate the director that otherwise has only made good shit. He's done a great job everywhere else in his career, and he fucked up Star Wars. So
I don't know. He dropped the ball and lost.
was that JJ?
Yeah.
He did that himself?
I don't know.
I think there's a lot. I don't think that was
it
just him
I
that
don't-
dropped the
honestly,
ball
no,
on that.
I don't think there's ever been a show that was just one person. But my point is that he was the guy behind it.
Lost went it went on too long.
It went on
Yeah.
too long and it didn't deliver in the end.
Well, at least it was good for a
Those
while.
First
It's
4
one of the best
seasons,
shows apparently for a while.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, but how good can a show be if the payoff is shit? You know.
Well,
what
yeah,
I
but
mean?
none of the Star Wars he did were good.
I know.
Is what I'm saying.
My point.
Like at least Lost was good at some point.
Super 8 was really good.
Super 8 was phenomenal.
Super 8's amazing.
It's so good. Instant classic. That's one of those movies that like when you if it had like that and Tomorrowland for me were like when I watched them I was like I feel like this movie was made 40 years ago
Tomorrowland
by
would
like
do that
Steven
for me.
Spielberg. It was good to me. I don't know. It's one of those
I'm
movies.
not saying
though.
it's bad. It's just it was.
I know- I
It was
understand.
very much.
It's Mike's like favorite movie.
really. That's
Yeah,
interesting.
which is so weird to me because like it's such an out of his wheelhouse. Like you would never expect that to be his favorite movie.
fair enough.
You'd think like Matrix is his favorite movie or something. God, he ruined the movies. He
Every
ruined so
every episode of this podcast comes back to how bad those movies are.
I mean, rightfully so. Something there needs to be something out there that talks about how
there
bad
has
it
to
is.
be a constant and continuing record because like enough people have stopped talking about it that it's a crime. Like we have to remember. It's like Looney Tunes when they released all the Looney Tunes and they had all those racial episodes. Like if we if we took this out, it'd be like saying it never happened.
Well, did you hear about what Favreau and the cowboy hat? What's his name?
Filoni?
Dave Filoni are doing?
No.
They're re-editing the sequel trilogy.
What?
So apparently they are in charge. So Dave Filoni is now a head creative at Lucasfilms at Disney. Like he's not just a director of like the shows and a writer. He's like him and Jon Favreau both control Star Wars now.
Because somebody at Disney has a brain.
Yeah, and like so they're basically erasing Kathleen Kennedy's name off of everything, and they're gonna go back and have like a basically what Topher Grace
Are
did
they gonna
with
do reshoots
The
or
Hobbit.
just complete re-edits?
Re-edits. I don't think they can do reshoots. Yeah, but so they're gonna try. They're gonna try and bring it back some because apparently 9 and 8 have some better versions of themselves out there, like that you could edit and make. I don't know. We'll see. Because like if anyone can do it, it's Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni. But like still, I don't. We'll see.
We'll see.
I'm not optimistic.
I don't know
I'm
if that'll happen.
pessimistically optimistic.
I hope.
You can cut Force Awakens into a great movie.
Yeah, for sure.
Easy.
For sure.
The next and oof,
We just don't know what they did, what they filmed that we didn't see though.
yeah, for sure.
So like there could be some good shit and some things they can cut out that make
You know
things
what?
better.
They'll probably bank on a lot of Carrie Fisher footage, man. There's probably a lot of Carrie
You just
Fisher
leave
footage that they
Palpatine
didn't
out
get.
of all of it.
If they could
I feel
swing
like
that,
one's too. I feel like
it's too hard to
inter-
do it.
Too interwoven into that ninth movie.
now what they could do is interject some Palpatine footage that they might have filmed for 9 to set it up better that didn't make it into 8 somehow. But again, it's hard. If they can do it, they can do it. Those two can do it.
Then that starts to get real George Lucasy though.
Yeah, but
starts to
if
get
they
sick.
can swing
It
it,
starts to get CGI.
It rhymes.
80s movie.
shut up with your poetry.
Yeah, I do.
It rhymes.
Have you watched the Red Letter Media thing yet? That I told you
No.
about? You definitely should. You'd love it. You would eat that shit up. It's really, really good.
Damn. Did you guys watch Black Widow yet?
Mm.
No,
You
I
gotta-
have it.
you
We should
gotta-
watch it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna watch it.
Really?
Have it?
It's so good. It's on my Disney Plus. Are you on my Disney
I'm
Plus?
on your Disney Plus.
You can watch it then.
I can.
I
Cool.
think you should be able to.
Yeah. I figure.
I don't want to spend $30 on it. It's coming out like next month, right?
I don't know. I don't know when it's coming out for
Sure
free.
it's
I just
coming out
really wanted to
in
watch
I
August.
it.
think
Yeah.
September.
It was
latest.
so much better than I anticipated it being. And everyone who's like critiquing it, all their critiques are saying the only critique is to me, it should have come out when it happened in the timeline, which is in between Civil War and Infinity War. If
I'm
it came
gonna
out then, it's perfect, and it's still honestly, I don't care. Such a good movie, way better than it had any business being. It's a little silly in some moments, but like because it's trying to be.
I'm gonna watch it, but it is like the thing I have the least drive. to
Her
watch it
sister
this
is
year.
Florence Pugh is the actress. Kills it. Makes me care way more about her than I thought. They fucking nailed her.
Okay, first of all,
her
stop yelling
character.
at me.
Sorry. They did such a good job of explaining that not only is this character about to be like the new Black Widow in the MCU, like you're gonna love her. She's amazing. She's such a fucking good character. Like they do such a good what?
Thanks, 2%.
He said that. He said that like 20 minutes ago. I love 2%. He definitely he's like the biggest advocate for the Charlie Boy brand, but very sarcastically so. He loves the Breath of the Wild streams.
Yeah, have you played a Legend of Zelda game before Breath of the Wild?
No, it's the first one. It's
Yeah,
so
I've
good.
never played one.
Yeah, you guys missed out on a big part of your childhood, man.
I fucking love Breath of the Wild.
Pokemon and Mario are my Nintendo properties.
Zelda's better than both of them.
Really?
It's a lot harder. A lot of kids didn't play it 'cause it was a lot harder. Than
Yeah, there's a lot more reading than like other.
you had to be a little older to. Cause I remember playing it as a kid, and I was like, "What the fuck is going on?"
I was pretty proud of myself. By the time I was 10, I could like comprehensively play the fuck out of Legend of Zelda. Like solving like
Final Fantasy was one I wish I would have gotten into.
Me
I
too.
feel like it's past me at this point. Like
For me,
Those are
Kingdom Hearts is one I wish I had gotten into a lot. Never got into it.
So man, I'm playing Kingdom Hearts 3 again right now. Second time critical.
Is it
mode.
fun?
Nigga, what?
Tell everybody about your amazing feat that you did in Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, the first time I ran Kingdom
Remind me
Hearts,
about the Keyblade after this.
first time I ran Kingdom Hearts 3 on critical mode, I only used the starter Keyblade. And critical mode is like for like the first like 40 hours of
Like the
gameplay,
skull
You
with
got-
both
you gotta-
swords going through it on
You're
Halo.
getting, you're getting like double tapped. and
You
you're
got to
dead.
explain to me, like, explain it how you explained to me, like, the differences, because I didn't know anything about Keyblades or different Keyblades or anything. I just knew there was one.
What thing specifically are you asking me?
You
to
said
explain?
that there's a bunch of different ones you're able to use.
Yeah, yeah,
and
no,
that
no.
the one they give you in the beginning was, like, shittier than the rest of
Yeah,
them.
yeah, yeah, no. It's not like there's like fucking 20 Keyblades in the game, and when you use a Keyblade in that game, the Keyblades transform into different weapons. So you have Keyblades that turn into guns, lances, like attack shields and shit. But the Keyblade I use is the Kingdom Key, which is like the standard yellow hilt silver Keyblade everybody knows, and that one is not only the weakest Keyblade. It also I like the form a lot, but the form is like the least OP. Like all the other forms, you transform, you smash the X button, you're gonna kill everything on screen. Whereas that form is literally just his Kingdom Hearts 2 fighting style. And what made it really difficult is, like I said, when you play on critical, man, for like the first 20, 30 hours, like you can get like 2-tap, 1-tap by like a lot of enemies. And yeah, man, I did the fuck out of Kingdom Hearts 3 on critical. Like it's like a really, really like anybody that's never played Kingdom Hearts 3 and people have played it, you boot that bitch up on like critical and you're gonna be pissed for a while. But what makes Kingdom Hearts 3 so damn good is that every Kingdom Hearts game has always had like the combat was always like ahead of the curve. Like when niggas was playing Final Fantasy, they took the Final Fantasy battle system and then put it in real time so that you could run around and attack. And then every game the combat got better and better and better. I put my money on Kingdom Hearts 3's combat system being, if not the best, like top 3 combat systems, period, in any game. Better than The Witcher 3's combat system. Better than I'd put Kingdom Hearts 3's combat system, if not better than God of War's, like right at God of War's neck. I put Kingdom Hearts 3's combat system above fucking Devil May Cry. A lot of shit, man. Like Kingdom Hearts is so fucking.
It's just
good.
incredible. It's just like fluid.
It's so goddamn.
I
good,
like
man.
Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's really good.
I wish I'd played I've never played any of the games you just mentioned.
Yeah.
I watched the new God of War.
Yeah. Oh no, insane.
Bro,
Insane.
I'm so excited for the next one.
It's insane. And
I'll probably
insane.
play that one. I didn't play
Did
that.
the world serpent scene?
Bro, when I hooked up
Just
my surround
scale.
sound, the first
Sheer
thing I did
I
when I
watched
got
it
that
with you.
TV was
watched
hook
it
up
with
my
you.
surround sound, watch it on that TV in 4K with surround sound, then I unplugged my surround sound and put it away.
Yeah, you
I literally just wanted to see that scene with that big baller TV.
when you did that, you brought me into your room. I was doing something.
Yeah.
You said, Michael, come here real quick.
You have to go. You have to see this, Michael. I turned the subwoofer like to fucking max. Like it's literally like shit was like falling off of
It
shelves.
was shaking the windows of our home.
It was so good, dude. God, I can't wait to hook up surround sound again.
What is he saying, boy?
Fucking.
I don't know, dude. It's so God that they did such a good job with that game.
Yeah, fucking. They're all good too, man.
Yeah.
Like, the original God of Wars are fucking.
Whenever I
phenomenal.
got like super into the new one, I went back and watched like all the not every single one, but a lot of the like really key big
I don't
moments.
Know, I don't know shit about those games.
It's really good. Not only is it really
You can
good,
watch the fourth one without really knowing a lot too,
yeah,
right?
yeah, like the because it's like a soft reset.
Yeah.
He's like in a new.
He's in Norse mythology all of a sudden.
So he's in the Norse realm instead of the Greek realm. So it's a soft reset. You don't need to know what happened before. They give you enough of the context that like he has a very dark past. The cool thing though is if you've been following the series, you've played that dark past.
And it still like sets up and everything still works.
That's my favorite thing about the Percy Jackson verse. Is that like they set up this whole Greek pantheon, and by the, to the 5th book, and then the next series he writes is the Kane Chronicles, which is a lot of people didn't read. A lot of people
Yeah, I
didn't,
didn't read that shit
didn't
at
even
all.
know about it. But it sets up Egyptian gods, and you're wondering the whole time. It was like, okay, is he just doing another thing now? He's just like the gods writer. He writes books about gods and people and like intertwining. And in the epilogue of that book, connects it to Percy Jackson, and that's the first time you understand that within this universe, it's not just one god. It's not one set of gods. It's literally every belief system. And so the next series he does is it just sets the scale of it so much larger. With now you have the Roman gods and the Greek gods, who are both, they're two personalities within the same entity, and they're like warring cultures that don't know each other exist. And they just continue to build it up, and then he goes on to like Norse mythology. I don't even know what the fuck he's doing these days, like. But he's just set up such a fucking universe, and it's just, I would love to watch God of War for that, like the way that it bridges these things.
Yeah, for sure, but it's not like it's dope, but you should watch God of War for Kratos. Like,
Word.
Yeah.
like, cause I get what you're going, and I've read those books, but like it's like, oh, the realms are connected, cool. Like
It's cool because Kratos is. They made a mythological game with a character that isn't in any of the mythology,
Yeah.
and
yeah,
like
but he very much like fits.
he doesn't just fit. It's like he's the fucking missing link.
Huh.
Is what it feels
Yeah,
like.
he's honestly like Kratos is written like just because the same way Percy Jackson, in my opinion, is like Percy Jackson and God of War are both like the ultimate expressions of like Greek fiction through like modern writing. You know what I'm saying? Down to like
That's great.
Percy
If a
Jackson,
solar flare wiped out the power grid, generations to come will use Kratos as a real god in mythology that like bridged the two mythologies, and they'll have one super religion.
it all ends with
of all-
Kratos punching Jesus. In the
There's-
Yeah,
skull.
They're
exactly.
speaking Portuguese.
But,
Exactly.
he like God of War and like the only real difference, it just boils down to like God of War is just more mature. Like there's sex and like way more. Is it off?
Wait, can you? No.
Oh,
can you-
coffee.
can I? Thank you. Sorry.
Yeah, that was awful.
I'm sorry.
That was a really interesting thing they did.
I didn't want to
in the,
interrupt. You were in a good sentence.
In the Magnus Chase series, is third Riordan's third
Can you cut that off, please?
with the
Thank you.
with the Norse ones.
Fuck. Fuck.
With the Norse ones, there's a great little
You had your hand around the whole part that wasn't coffee, so I couldn't grab it in a safe
there's a
spot.
throwaway line where Odin just mentions Jesus and how he doesn't really like him.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's great.
It's really funny.
I do like that they bridge the gap in the new God. Like, because I think it's something no one saw coming. Like, for them to redo God of War. Okay.
Nah, it was pretty evident. Because the
Is
way
it from the originals?
the way 3 ends, like pretty much Greek, like so you know how we don't have the Greek gods.
Yeah.
Like Kratos is the explanation of that. Like he kills
You mean, like,
Mm.
in the Norse one, you mean? Like,
No.
in the new one?
God of War,
the
God of War
reason-
3 ends. He murdered everybody.
Yeah.
The
They're all
reason
gone.
the Greek gods are mythology is because Kratos killed them
Oh,
all.
because. Okay,
Yeah,
that's
so,
funny.
And so like the fact that they were bringing it back, like it was pretty evident they were gonna go to like another like because you can't. Zeus is dead.
You know what's sick about the new one?
The Zeus
That
is
whole.
dead.
Well, sure. But that whole game, you
What
never
Liam said.
see Thor or Odin.
Yeah.
They did a great job setting those two up as being the big bads, and then you never see
You know
them.
what's even better? You know that game. I'm pretty sure you noticed that game's one shot.
What do you mean?
You know, like
There's
a
no
movie,
loading
a movie
screens.
that's shot in one shot.
Yeah.
The video game is one shot.
There's no loading screens.
Like it
Oh,
there's
yeah,
no
It
cuts.
all loads
It's-
when you
it's-
open the game.
It's one shot. It's like a one-shot movie. It's one shot.
That's how The Last of Us 2 is.
That's dead.
Like whenever you whenever you cut the game on, it loads, but once you start playing, it goes
yeah.
the whole way.
And then there's like even down to like the cut scenes come like right out of the like you're playing.
Oh well, actually, okay, I take it back. Then there are toward the end, the
Yeah.
last little chunk, because they have to do flashbacks and stuff.
Yeah.
It cuts that way, but like in terms of game fluidity for like cinematics while you're playing,
That's another thing.
it'll go
Silent Hill-
hours.
That's
Huh?
another thing Silent Hill revolutionized. Like, Silent Hill was the first people that had like an animation that made sense between loading screen. Like, it wasn't
Yeah.
a loading screen. Like, every time you go up to a place that's gonna load, they have this ominous door creaking open to lead you into the next thing, and it's just like builds so much suspense. It did a lot. Silent Hill did a lot of shit for games.
My YouTube algorithm has fucked me up lately because I clicked like 2 or 3 Last of Us clips in a row. They're like 20 seconds. They explain cool little, like, not bugs, but cool little reasons that it's so technologically amazing. And one is when Ellie opens doors, like what happens is she opens the door for the cameraman. And then the camera sets up in the next area and she walks back into frame and then you start playing again. That's how it loads that next part. And you can still turn around and go back through that door. But it's like every little opening that happens that way. Like there will be sometimes it loads one way, but if it's the kind of door opening that opens and cuts into a spot that you aren't going to be able to go back, like that's what it does. She opens it and that's the start. That cinematic is the start of loading the next area and getting rid of the last. It's fucking brilliant. Like, dude, I gotta play those games with you. Like, because you don't know anything. So like you playing them blind.
Hey, don't come at my guy. My guy knows a lot of stuff
about the games. You silly bastard. Like, and that TV. Oh, dude, we'll have so much fun if we play on that TV because we'll get to play both of them and the DLC for the first. Like, it's so your game.
We did the DLC for the first. That was really fun. We did the whole.
We have to play the second one still. You and me.
Yeah.
Would you be down to just play it, all 3 of us?
Sure.
Because I'd love to just watch. I'd love to you and me talk about it because the first one isn't like there's nothing in it that's like crazy spoilery, so we can kind of talk about it with them. Because the second one, luckily, you don't know anything about, and is the one that I don't want to spoil.
Yeah.
So like we could sit there and talk about the first one and like how things mean something later, and like just kind of spoil the first game off the rip because there's nothing super crazy that happens in the first one, like compared to the second one. But like,
no,
huh?
Wouldn't know.
Yeah, but like but like the first one, you know, there'll be a lot of cool stuff that you and me are like, Aleem, that is super awesome because of this later. Like that we'll be able to tell him, and he doesn't have to play it 3 times to understand. You know.
Fuck yeah.
God, it's so good. Anyway,
You know my favorite thing? I know a couple of Easter egg things, not like plot wise, but about the making of Last of Us 2.
Okay.
And one of the cool things is you can walk around the world and there's PlayStation 3 sitting everywhere.
Yeah.
And
That's in the second one. I mean, the
Yeah.
first one too.
Yeah,
That's in the
but
first one too.
It's because
That's in all of their games.
the outbreak in the game
Yep.
chronologically happened 4 months before the release of the PlayStation 4.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So there's only PlayStation 3s laying everywhere.
That's cool shit.
Yeah, it's like so in the first one too, in both of them, but in the second one you see like Uncharted 2, Uncharted 3,
Yeah.
Jack
Yeah.
and Daxter.
Uh-huh.
You see all their games sitting around. And in Uncharted 4,
You can play
you play Crash Bandicoot in Uncharted 4.
Oh wow.
And you don't like I don't want to spoil one
play,
thing
like,
is that's
level.
Well,
Two?
Uncharted.
Oh, 2 levels.
2 levels.
Yeah, I don't care if you spoil Uncharted.
I know, like out of the games that I want to play with you one day, we could skip the first 3 and just play the 4th one and it's still sick.
Don't skip the second one though.
The second one's great.
That's my favorite Uncharted.
It is I've replayed it recently. I played all 4 of them with Matt and
Oh,
Mike.
yeah.
The first one is garbage.
Yeah.
The story's great. It's just so outdated now.
It's an old game. Yeah.
Yeah, it's old. So like the gameplay is
It's
horrible.
like trying to play Prince of Persia right now. Like at the time, amazing. Probably. it's
Exactly.
great right now.
The second one,
Wait, that's not how it happened.
the second one is still fucking unbelievable.
Yeah.
The third one,
It's Shangri-La, dude.
yeah, the third one tried to introduce better combat, like not guns, like hit combat. And so what happens is you get into one of those areas where there's like 30 bad guys and their engine is trying to like fist combat, so they all close in on you and swarm you all the time. So if you don't kill half of them with your guns immediately, they just fucking eat you. It's stupid. And the third one ends up meaning nothing for the rest of the franchise anyway. The third one's terrible. It's
Yeah.
just so bad.
Yeah,
I hated it now.
I
Like
remember.
I remembered it thinking that it was better, and it's because a couple of the set pieces are amazing. The plane, falling out of the plane, getting into the desert, fantastic.
The whole the chase scene with his
Chase scene
brother.
with the horses is great. The 4th one's unbelievable. The 4th one's fucking unreal.
haven't-
The
I
second and the
remember,
4th
yeah,
one
we
are
watched it.
unreal, so good. And we could just play those 2. And honestly, the second one is fun and it is good, but we could skip it too, honestly.
Uncharted 2.
Because the 4th one's so much better than the rest of them.
Uncharted 2 is like it's what I want Indiana Jones to have always been.
Yeah.
It's
Yep.
so
Yes.
goddamn good.
The only reason I would want to play Uncharted 2 with you is because the story is just so fucking awesome.
So cool.
It's so cool. It's so like it's kind of Die Hardy, like Die Hard 1, in that the bad guy is kind of one-dimensional, but like because he has to be, because it's not about him, it's about Drake and like his like the people he's with and like his the conflict he has in those games is he can't get away from
His
the
past.
the game, not the past. The past, he can never settle. Everyone in his life wants him to calm down and settle. And like in the first one, it's not really a big deal because the first one's like his first real great big adventure, and so like it's not that big a deal. The second one, like his love interest is like, what are you doing? Is there a reason? Why do we do this? To stop evil? Sure, okay, we'll do that. Blah blah blah. The third one is really bad because of the fighting and because ultimately the bad guys don't mean much. But story wise, the third one's amazing too. Like really, all of them are great stories. It's just the third one plays so bad that it makes it bad. But the third one is the first one where they're like, hey, you don't need to do this. Like, there's not a reason to. It's just so that you do it and that you stop them because you want to. This isn't just ego. This is like a drug for you, and it's like horrible. And that manifests itself very literally because he gets drugged in the end and realizes it.
What are your?
But then the fourth one's,
I
don't even want to explain.
I've
yet.
never asked you this, and it's just an interesting question. I'd like to hear your answer. You too, Gunner. What's your? I probably know your answer though. What's your favorite story mode game? Like not the multiplayer, like playing with your friends value, but like Kingdom Hearts. Okay, I'm guessing.
I've heard it's like up there best.
No?
Destiny's story is not that.
Okay.
Destiny's very much for the gameplay.
Okay.
Destiny's gameplay is pretty dank.
Red Dead 1's got a really good story.
Solid answer. Okay.
How'd you like Red Dead 2?
I didn't beat it.
Really? You like stop playing?
Yeah, it got boring.
Really?
Yeah.
I've heard it's that or your favorite game. It's like it depends on who it is because like some people
Beautiful
super duper love it. Some people super duper just get so bored of it.
A lot of people's complaints were that like they gave you too much of what you asked for, which was like realism. They gave
In
you
Red Dead?
Yeah, they gave you too much. Like everything is.
Heard that too.
Like your fucking horse can mistrust you.
Yeah.
Like you can build like a mistrusting relationship where your horse doesn't really like fuck with you like that. And that's just
That's
too
fucking
much, you know what I'm
hilarious. I
saying?
didn't know that part, but that is hilarious.
Yeah, you can like point your gun at your horse and you.
And it's just
literally-
like, yo, man, what the fuck?
Literally, if you point your
I
gun,
thought we were
if you
boys.
point your gun at your horse, there's like a meter or some shit. I don't remember exactly how it is, but your trust
Like,
between
he's trusting
you,
you
and your horse.
less.
Exactly.
That's funny. That's fucking awesome. Like you just slap its ass. It's like, dude, come on.
I know I'm a horse, but goddamn.
That's funny.
Did you try asking?
Why don't you just hop on, man? Just do the little flick thing. I don't mind the flick thing. Don't slap me around.
It's crazy how bad most shooters' stories are. Like first-person shooters. Like there are some good ones.
Yeah, MW2.
But-
Black
Mon-
Ops 1's got a really good
Modern Warfare
story.
2 is my favorite story to any Call of Duty game.
Black Ops 1's great. Modern Warfare, Modern Warfare 1 through 3 are all great, honestly.
I just
Ghost was the like diamond in the rough of those
the
games that
soap
gets
twist,
underplayed.
man. The twist with soap.
Dude, the twist with soap. Wait, the twist with soap?
You mean twist with Ghost and MW2?
Yeah, well,
Or the
when
twist with Price?
Price when they kills.
Is it Price? No,
fucking
Shepard. His name's Shepard.
Shepard.
Shepard. I was about to say.
That's what I fucked up.
But wait,
I fucked
which
everything up.
twist are you talking about?
When Ghost gets
He
murdered.
kills them
Oh, Ghost.
Yeah.
Yeah,
When
Ghost and
dies to Shepard.
Ghost and Roach.
in Roach.
Because
yeah.
you're playing as Roach. Okay, yeah. Nope. Everybody's sad about Ghost. Like, what about my boy Roach, bro? You
Yeah,
played
sure.
as him.
Yeah, Roach for sure, but Ghost. But my
Yeah,
point
no
I
is,
Ghost.
saw Ghost die.
Yeah.
I don't know that any other Call of Duty game, any Call of Duty game, ever hit you as emotionally or just out of fucking nowhere like that.
I don't know, man. Call of Duty Ghost. When they kill your dad, bro, in front of you, and they shoot him in the head, and like it's fucking gnarly because that comes out of nowhere,
Yeah.
and like they do a good job of making your dad like the quintessential badass good guy.
Like, cool dad.
Yeah, that's a good. That game gets no credit.
No, trash.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't like Ghost.
Like the story or just the?
I don't know anything.
I didn't
I
like
can't
the
weigh in.
I didn't like the multiplayer. I didn't like any.
how
of
it handled
I
it.
didn't either. But the
mechanics were
story,
dog shit.
the story was pretty worth like watching and playing.
That's fair.
I can't.
And
weigh
the
in. I don't
the
know anything
twist
about it.
after the credits also is like the biggest blue balls that they've ever done as a game, because they set you up with the best cliffhanger of all of them, better than the Modern Warfare 2. Like, I know a place. Like better than all that shit. Like, because Modern Warfare 3, great. Modern Warfare 1 and 2, great. None of the Call of Duties to me set up the next one in a better way, because like Rourke was such a good fucking bad guy in Call of Duty Ghost. We played that game way too much. That's probably why we like it so much, is because like we played that story so many times.
So fun fact, I'm 6 days vegetarian. It's been 6 days since I smoked any ribs. and it's the longest time I've been on a green kick in a while. You know what I'm saying?
You haven't smoked any weed. Fuck it. We're going to talk about it. Michael hasn't smoked weed
Whoa,
in 6
Niggas
days.
is getting
I don't know.
bold.
I don't know.
I don't
what you're
care,
talking
bro. We
about.
have one viewer. It's Nathan, or
At
2%.
the moment,
At the moment. But, like, by the time this is on YouTube, I'll have deleted this VOD off Twitch. There'll be no proof except that we said it on YouTube. But I could be lying for parity's sake. So, you know, we will always have deniability. Plausible deniability. Is this a joke? Who even knows?
We also got to
Rick, Morty, are you here? Oh, do you need to wrap up?
Mhm.
Why, man? Yo,
we
see,
got work
Nathan's
too.
here.
We
Told you.
work at 4
I
in
got
the
work
morning.
and my wife's got supper home.
God damn it. Supper. You're so from here.
Yeah, that's some fucking shit.
That's some
He says
supper.
supper
Su-
every day,
yeah,
too.
supper is a fucking. That's a
think I've
South
heard-
Carolina
I
word.
don't think I've heard him say dinner.
Okay, well, I guess we'll wrap it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to though.
Sorry.
Guys, listen. I fucking love this podcast.
Yes, but it's so much
I
fun.
wanted to talk about chess with you. Oh, let's hold on. Let's let's give it like 10, maybe 15-minute cap real quick, like
We got
potential for this conversation.
5.
Okay. I've been playing the fuck out of chess lately. Chess fucking changes the way when you really play it. Not like when you sit down play it with your boys a couple times, like once in the blue moon. Like I've been playing the fuck out of it.
Mhm.
It changes the way you see everything and the way you think about the way you think about a conversation you're having in the moment, the way you think about making plans, the way about everything. It changes fucking everything about your mindset. And the more you play it, and the more you like think about other things the way you think about chess, the more your chess game changes. It's fucking crazy how much of a boost it is mentally for your brain. I've been dreaming about it. 2 nights in a row I've had dreams about playing chess and like about games I've already played, about games I haven't played yet, about like moves that you can do and like strategies and puzzles in the game that you can find, like setups you can do. Like we should all start playing chess more.
Did I ever
It's
tell you the
PSA.
story about the invention
I
of
beat
chess?
Stewart.
That was awesome.
20 years.
That's amazing.
I've been playing our Uncle Stewart for 20 years. Never beat him.
Family
and-
friend, not a real uncle.
Yeah, like yeah. And I didn't beat him. He stalemated me. But I had my king and my queen, and he only had his king, and I got it to a position where he couldn't move his king, but he wasn't in check either, so that's a stalemate. And it was stupid of me, but I count that as a win, because I got it down to my queen and my king, and he had his king. I win. That's a win. I don't care what anyone says. Stuart, love you. I beat our Uncle Stewart. But
Did I ever tell you the story about the invention of chess? I don't know if you. I might have
Mm-mm.
told you. It's a really interesting story. It's also like, it's a bit of a parable, but it is by historical recollection a true story. It was a, I want to say like a Persian, like Shah. I forget what the name is, but it's like a king essentially. He was sick of all the strategy-based games of his time. It's like none of them. There was always like an advantage to something. Like there's like someone can have something. It's not based on skill. So he like sent a message. He said, "I'll give anybody their prize. Name your prize if you can bring me a game that is truly shy." And a man came to him with chess. There's
how
only
the fuck do you invent that?
there's only an incredibly slight minute percent like to the person who moves first. Like that's the only kind of advantage that can be
Yeah.
like found. But everywhere else is just player versus player, intelligence versus like strategy versus strategy. So he said to the guy, he says, "Thank you." He said, "Awesome. Well, name your price." He said, "I want you to give me rice, but I want you to give me 1 grain of rice for the first tile, 2 for the second, 4 for the third, all to the end of the
Yeah, because it's
end
like
of the board."
mathematically fucking
And he says,
absurd.
"All right." So he has one of the guys come over. He's like starts counting out a bag of rice, starts weighing it, and there's a scribe over the side. He's like running some numbers. He's like kind of just doing the math.
He's like, "Yo,
And
boss,
he
this
goes
is
to
about
the
to
king
be."
and he says, "What he's just asked for is more rice than has ever been grown in the history of man." And so the king cut his head off, as kings did.
the chess guy?
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
And that is episode 20 of the episode 3 podcast. Hold it down, bitches.
We will go live more often. We hopefully promise.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
It's really on the Catones, man.
Yeah.
These niggas can't fucking lead shit.
Come over.
And that's episode 20 of the episode.
Love you guys. Goodbye.